Fucking ant. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we have a great show. It's pro-black, anti-African. The reason why I asked this question is whenever we worry about Black American affairs, situations, somebody tries to speak for us, and Black Americans like, whoa, we got this. We don't need your help. Then they yell xenophobic or anti-African or anti-immigrant. And today we're gonna figure out why. Why is that a problem? Why can't Black Americans have their own things? Why can't Black Americans, be Black Americans? You know, um, I always have said, and I still to this day believe it's an ego and an entitlement. It's an entitlement. A lot of people would not want to say that, but I will say it for you. It's an entitlement. You know, um, do I believe people have bad interest for Black people? To a certain extent, yes. Certain extent, yes. I was gonna do this tomorrow, but I'm like, okay, you know what? I was supposed to get my ceilings fixed. Fortunately, they didn't come through. So you know what? I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just knock this out right now. And I apologize to anybody who thought it was gonna be a 9:45 show. I apologize again. I thought, people are messing up my time, and I'm gonna have to tell people tomorrow my time is precious. I don't have time to, you say you do something and you don't. So now, I have to get business done. I have a deadline, a timeline. The all, everything that I have to do, I have to do. You know, and they will have to understand it. It's not if I hope they're gonna understand it. So and I apologize because I lose views. I lose a lot of stuff when people mess around with my time. But it comes with the game, man. A lot of business people, have a problem with that. What's going on, Black Snow Bunny King? Let me see what you say. I apologize, and again, my apologies to to you too, Snow Bunny King, because I don't know if you was gonna come on this morning, come on to my show this morning. I apologize, but I'm supposed to get my ceilings fixed, and they didn't come through. So, and nobody said anything. So I'm like, oh, okay, you just take it as it is. But let me just give me a second, Snow Bunny King. I apologize again. Let me see what you said actually. Um, before we start. Pro black is synonymous with pan Africanism. This always has been what you're doing is tethering off of the No, that's not true. Pan Africanism movement trying to make it seem like it's like your quote is. No, we are pro black. We're pro black American. I would say this, Snow Bunny King. I don't know how your mind works or how your mind process, but when I say pro black, I mean pro black American. Pro black American, worrying about us first. Black American unity, if that makes sense. I personally like the word black American South. You know, people for with the southern was it people with Black Americans with southern tides. I mean, Black Americans with tides to the south. So I like to call it Black American South. You know, it just makes it a little bit easy. What you're doing, it's not really good. And you confuse a lot of people when you do that, Snow Bunny King. But I know you care for self. You know, most of your culture does. Y'all care for self. You don't care for unity. You don't care for helping one another. That each one teach one is a money slogan, if you ask me, and that's from your culture. Each one teach one. I think that's what pan-africanism. I don't mind saying pro foundational black American. It's still pro black American. You know, I think your problem is Snow Bunny King is the same problem as Shabaka. You can't accept black Americans doing stuff for themselves and not others. It's an entitlement, as I was saying, probably a few seconds ago. It's an entitlement thing. Um, I wish you can get over it and just defend for yourself. I think that would be great. I will cheer you on. I will feel proud of y'all. But for some reason, you always want to bring us along with your battles. You know, I think it's very disingenuous when you do shit like that because you're gaslighting Black Americans to help you with your bullshit. You know, and that's just me. I'm not saying I'm right about what I'm saying. This is just my this is what I believe. And like I said, it's all right to believe that, but you can't drain people's energies because they don't want to help you. That's some bum shit. I had like what y'all the black diaspora do to the black Americans. Y'all do some bum shit, and I'm sorry to say it like that. I don't know how else to say it. It's some bum shit because you don't want to do shit yourself, and just because we said no, we don't want to help handle your own shit. You attack black Americans. You attack black Americans. Then when if you say you don't attack black Americans because they don't want to help, like leave them alone. Just like leave these motherfuckers alone. Black Americans could be talking about black American shit, but you don't want to talk about black American shit. I mean, you don't want to, you don't want to accept that black Americans has been doing shit themselves. And it's true. It's just you gotta get over that shit. FBA members would be confused. These are educated people are not ACLs only a low IQ FBA code. Like this is what I'm talking about, Snow Bunny King. You're making my point, and I don't know if you're a good guy. You probably are. I don't know. But when you're on the show, you're a piece of shit, and it's cool. Yeah, I don't care. But at the end of the day, this is what you show of yourself. You showed this of yourself. Like, why can't black Americans be pro black Americans? Everybody's pro Africa, you're pro Pan African. If you're pro Pan African, like, I don't get it. Like, why do you care? Why? Because we're not helping you out? You're mad about that? Like, come on, let's you got to get over that, my friend. Like, you personally have to get over that. There's billions of y'all in Africa, and you're crying about 50 million Black Americans. You got to stop that. But you got to stop that bullshit. But what's worse, your own people is about to turn on you. Your own people is about to turn on you. I showed you so many times. I showed you with receipts, and I showed you with truth that your own people don't even get along. but but you intend to still attack Black Americans. Now let's ask the real question, Snowbunny King. What is the real problem with Black Americans? I just want to know what's the the real deal. Why you don't like Black Americans? We help you get your funky ass family over here. You know, we help with all your social situations. We made blueprints for you. We accepted you. We wanted y'all to come to America with open arms. And even though I disagree with Black Americans doing that in the first place, they did it anyways. They did it anyways. And I'm gonna say this: Black Americans, the shit that you do right now, Snow Bunny King, and the shit that your people do, you're bringing Black Americans together to say like, yo, we cannot fuck with these people. Every time you do shit like this, every time you say foul shit like this, it's you're just pushing Black Americans closer to saying that, yo, get these niggas out of here. Let them all go back to their country. That's what you're doing. You know, but you're not pro Black. Snow Bunny King, you're not pro Black. I'm gonna give you an example. When I attack white supremacy and white supremacists, you instantly defend them. Like you instantly defended the potato slave fucking St. Michael's. Hey Lala Brown, how's it going, dear? Like you instantly defend a white supremacist, a failed white supremacist, but you protected St. Michael's. You keyed in with him online, and it's crazy. And this is why I always tell Black Americans there has never been unity between the Black diaspora ever, man. Then when you say that, you be like, "Oh yeah, you're spreading false misinformation." And when I show it, oh no, this is only some people. It's always some people. A person who believes in the lineage of a foundational Black American, you attack them. You attack all of them. You don't say, "Oh, it's some of them." You attack all of them. You say all of them are in the code. I could say the same thing about you because you're a Pan African ideology. You believe in Pan African ideology. But when I do say that, oh, you're just uneducated. That's what you do. I know, Lala Brown. I agree with you. What's going on, Robin? Shout out to you, Lala Brown. I said the same thing because they say African American or Black American. I mean, they think when they say African American, they're taking away from Black American culture. That's the thing about Snow Bunny King. Snow Bunny King is I don't know if he's coked out or something. Because he sounds like he's a cokehead. Cokehead talks like him. I don't call myself FBA, but I am Black American and we're all immigrants gone. I just don't talk about it. Yeah, and Lala, that's all right. That's the thing. That's all right. Foundational Black Americans don't mind what you call yourself. Some people call themselves Sulan. Some people call themselves Sulan. But the only people who's having a problem with this is the Black diaspora. That's why this question that has came up is pro Black or even pro Black American. Is it anti? I mean, is pro Black anti-African. Do they think that shit is anti-African? Because foundational Black Americans is pro-Black American or pro-foundational Black American. I don't think they're understanding that that's not anti-African. We're just worried about ourselves right now. We're worried about ourselves. We don't care what y'all are doing. We don't care how y'all live and stuff. But we're not gonna have you just stand there and steal our culture. You know, and I think that's their issue. Their issue is because we're not gonna let them steal. What's the topic question? So the topic question is is anti-black or Black American um is anti-black African is pro-black anti-African. No, being pro-black has nothing to do with any other groups. That's a good idea of thinking it, Robin. You know, actually, I'll give you that. I do like that. No, being pro-black has nothing to do with any other group. That's true. Now, and I want to go back to Lala too. I don't call myself FBA, but I am Black American, and we're all immigrants gone. I just don't talk about it. LOL. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Charlie Shaw, how's everything, dear? Shout out to you. You know, I I always look at that as a problem. The reason why I always looked at certain things as a problem, I look at certain things as problems because when Black Americans are progressing in the world, we're progressing within ourselves. We're progressing on what what we do as a people. Why is there a problem that it's only black? It's only a Black American thing, or it's a foundational Black American thing. Why is that a problem? You know, and it's I have always, and this is why I always said I understand Black Americans now. I understand. I understand when people was. I remember back in the days, people I used to be like, "Yo, I ain't black. I'm African." I used to do that shit. I I used to say shit like that, not knowing that these people don't accept me. That they're gonna make my life hard. They don't really want to fuck with me. You know, it just. I'm gonna be personally honest. I don't think Snow Bunny King is gonna understand what Black Americans go through until he's valuable. Until his culture is very valuable. His culture is only valuable in probably Europe. That's it, Europe. What's going on, Dorsey? Shout out to you. You know, and also everybody, I do have a big announcement. But we're gonna talk a little bit. It's just it comes to a point where I think Snow Bunny King got a problem with foundational Black American because he can't benefit off of it. It's not a transaction deal no more. It's not a transaction deal no more. So if he can't benefit off of it, he has a problem, you know, and so be it. Give me a second. I like turtlenecks, but these things irk me sometimes. You know, and it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory of people understanding what a foundational Black American is, because it seems like, yo, I don't know if people are fucking stupid, people are not listening, people have a short attention span. Like Snow Bunny King always talks about how smart he is, but he acts like he don't know what foundational Black American is. You know, I always see it as a problem. You know, and it's it doesn't irk me or it doesn't aggravate me. This is a part of my job, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that, like, yo, you know what? Well, they have to understand that, like, yo, we don't have to help. That is our free will. This isn't your culture. This isn't your country where we have to listen to you because that's the laws of the land. The laws of the land, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's just it comes with a consequence. A consequences. You know? They'll get over it, but we can't keep on doing the same thing with these people. What's that? Yeah, man. I got the little turtleneck today with the dress pants. It's something easy, so I don't have to throw on no no dress shirt. So, I don't have to throw on no dress shirt. So I like it. I got what three? Got three. I got a white one, got a black one, got this burgundy one. It's yeah, your next your next sweaty as hell. No, I just threw this on, and I got the AC going on here. I got the big boy. I do know what FBA is. Oh, so you listening to another man, huh? That's what you doing. Instead of really looking at the facts, instead of really listening to the black Americans that are telling you um what foundational black Americans is. And you know what? We did a reaction video to Cam James. So you can't say that, Snow Bunny King. That's just your opinion. They say, yo, my opinion is it's a code. But you can't prove it. This is Snow Bunny King. Donate $5 and come on here and prove that it's a code. You can do that. Donate $5 and you can prove it's a code. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear what's going on. We need a reset. It's just time for everyone to go back to where they came from. Yeah, I'm starting to agree with you, Lala Brown. I think we do need a reset from a lot of the black diasporas. I really do think they need to go back and just, but the thing about it, I don't think it's gonna happen, Miss Lala. I'm gonna be personally honest. Them niggas are so petrified to go home. Snowbody King is scared to go to Jamaica. He wants to go for a week, maybe a week and a half, but he want to come back to the country of milk and honey. It's just what it is. Like, let's personally be honest. You think Snow Bunny King is really built for Jamaica? I don't even think he's really built for America. It's the LO. You're a nigga that literally uh, parrot street and kid is a educated black American. Oh, but he's not African American? You was just saying African American, so Cam isn't an African American? And again, that's his own point of view. That's his Let me tell you something. Snow Bunny King, can we say can let me ask you a question. Can we ask the question, is Pan African ideology or the Pan African movement a cult? Can we say it's a cult instead of more of an organization or a movement? Can we say it's a cult? Let's actually do a poll, everybody. I know we haven't done polls in a while. I'm gonna put a poll up on YouTube, and this is what I'm gonna put, everybody. Give me a second. Uh, So I'm doing a poll, everybody. I said, is the Pan African movement a cult? So I want to know what y'all believe and what y'all think. Damn, niggas already said yeah. I want to know what people think. You just said, why would you say it's an ideology? I can believe it's a cult because you know what? None of y'all can't think for yourself. Y'all have to follow a certain rule, a certain law. You have to follow a certain structure of things. Wouldn't that make it a cult? I'm just asking questions, Snow Bunny King. Wouldn't that make it a cult? You know? And if you say no, okay, cool. You know? Give me a second, everybody. I'll say this, Snow Bunny King. I mean Robin. Pan Africanism has to be a cult. And the reason why I'm saying it has to be a cult because there's certain things you cannot do as a Pan Africanist. And if you do, you will be ostracized. Where everybody say allegedly honorable. When I say allegedly, because I don't really see him as honorable Marcus Garvey. He was talking with the white supremacists on on sending black Americans back to Africa, as he says. Do I believe they're from Africa? No, I don't think they're from Africa because if you're so far all out of Africa, how are you African? You know. So, and he got a pushback. He got a big ass pushback, and the pushback was like, "Yo, get this nigga out of here." So you know what Marcus Garvey's friends did? The white supremacists. They started attacking Black Americans. They started even kidnapping Black Americans because of Marcus Garvey and his stupid idea. Just because they said, "Yo, you know what? This nigga is bugging." He's talking about going back to Africa, and he bought these raggedy ass boats using Black Americans' money, not using Black diaspora money, Black American money. This nigga posted. It's not about me being correct on this show. Say, I mean, Black Snow Bunny King. It's about what you think. It's about what you really think. They all have the same ideology. Yes. Thank you, Lala. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie Shaw. Like, let's personally be honest about laugh my fucking ass off. A country bunker, low IQ, pretend he is, tries to speak knowledge of all. Okay, again, what has Marcus Garvey done for black Americans? What has he done? Did he make some type of structure, some infrastructure, some type of unity? No, he just spent money on raggedy shit. The nigga came to New York dressed up as fucking Napoleon Bonaparte. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Hello, a lot of upset because that's like this is from Robin. Pan Africanism just doesn't make a lot of sense to me because that's like saying a pan European movement or something. Like this is Robin. This is what a lot of this stuff turned into. Let's see, bronze. How can you even as if there's some deep thinking? It's not about being a deep thinking. It's about what y'all think. If I say like, yo, I don't think Marcus, and this is what I'm talking about, Snow Bunny King. This is what your problem is. I can give it an opinion, and you get mad about the fucking opinion. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm saying this is my opinion on Marcus Garvey. He was a scammer. He brought your Jamaican culture to New York, a scamming culture. That's your scamming culture. Like you're mad at this is Snow Bunny King. This is how I know you're starting to get mad at me because you're starting to ask me questions that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. If Marcus Garvey was so pro black, why did he want us to go to another fucking country? If Pan Africanism is so fucking pro black, why are they telling us to give everything up in America to go help another fucking country? When black Americans is tell you like, yo, I am worrying about black Americans. You have an issue with that. You have an issue with that, Snow Bunny King. Yeah, they are. They want to dress like Africans. Africans that don't like them, don't want nothing to do with them. They just want to benefit off of whatever they given. And he still wants to dress up like them. He still makes excuses for them. And I'm not saying all Africans do that, but at the end of the day, we have to be honest about this. We have to be honest about this because at the end of the day, we'll be running around batshit crazy like Snow Bunny King. Snow Bunny King is batshit crazy right now. He's thinking about any and everything except what is the problem with black people being pro black. Like, come on, let's personally be honest. We're talking about this conversation right now, Snow Bunny King, and you ask me about what's this means. What does UNIA mean? Nigga, I don't give a fuck what it means. It's not what I'm talking about. If it's not what am I talking about, we don't need to know what it means. Because it doesn't bring anything to the conversation. And I still and personally, I think Snow Bunny King is white. I think Snow Bunny King is a white man now. I'm really starting to think you're a white man. You get along with more all the white supremacists on this show than black people. All jokes aside, you get along with white supremacists than black people. That's saying it a lot. Marcus Garvey did the same thing. Marcus Garvey is a tether than a he's a tether than a motherfucker. That's a word. Mm, that's what's up. Thank you for your service, Dorsey. Oh, Charlie Shaw said the same thing. But yeah, it's just S- Snow Bunny King. I'm gonna say this. I believe your issue is that we don't want to help, and you got a problem with that. I personally believe that you have a problem that Black Americans just don't want to help anymore. You can't get mad at black Americans because they don't want to help. They want to be pro black Americans. It doesn't mean anti-African. It just say we don't want to help Africa. Africa got to handle their own shit. They'll figure it out. Yeah, they got all these fucking degrees, right? Y'all can figure it out. You Jamaicans, y'all got all these degrees and stuff. And it's nobody can. You got to stop, man. Let me tell you something. I don't think you want unity. I don't. I think your unity is just benefiting off of Black Americans. I've been told you that. I told you that was it the first time you came on here. I was like, "Yo, you're just worried about what you can get from Black Americans?" And like I said, it's a culture thing. Black Americans never think like that. Like Black Americans never think like that. That's how I knew you wasn't Black American. You know, I don't know, Lala. I don't know why they're not in Africa. They're never in Africa. They always around us. They always trying to tell us what the fuck to do, but can't build no fucking school. Can't build no infrastructure. Can't build no country in Africa. Can't fight for Africa. Like, let me tell you something. If Snowbody King really cared for Africa, he should be in Africa right now, fighting the civil wars or in bringing unity to those countries, bringing unities to those tribes. He's not gonna do that. He knows he's not gonna do that. That nigga will get attacked by one of those fucking monkeys, and he's like, "Yo, fuck that. I'm going back." What will happen. He'll get attacked by one of those fucking monkeys, and he's coming back. He's traumatized. The nigga will be traumatized. Right. Yeah, can't even build a lemonade stand. You're right, Dorsey. Like I said, it's coming to a point. It's Black Americans is actually, what have you done for me lately? And if you can't think of anything, you got these symbolic gestures. Niggas don't want to fuck with you. That's just what it is. You got to get over it. Snow Bunny King. Niggas just don't want to fuck with you. Yeah, nigga kick some monkeypox shit. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. I'll say this, Dorsey. The real reason why Pan Africanism has a problem and they can't get shit done, and they always talk about, oh yeah, we're building liberations and shit like that, is because you know what? They're trying to hold on with the little bit of money that they're getting now. That's it. They're trying to hold on to for that little bit of money that they're getting. I think that shit's gonna be that shit's gonna be done for. That shit's gonna be done. It's gonna be a wrap. What will get so I guess interfere. Yeah, they always begging for help, la la. You see how they kicking and screaming about not going back to fucking Africa or Haiti or any of these countries. Just admit this is a good country. Like, yo, it's a good country for benefits. But how these niggas be talking, these niggas talk crazy. That's the only thing I don't like about that. You could say that. I'm not saying that because I talk crazy myself, and I can't be that pot calling the kettle black, but it it comes with the territory of doing business in America. But America is a corporation. It's only home to us. We're the only non-immigrants and the red natives. You know, and the reason why I said the red natives, yeah, the red natives are from Asia. They are from Asia. You want me to tell you what I don't? I wondered. I wonder why these why the Latinos don't have Asian DNA. You never see Asian DNA on natives. Cause what they like Siberians, Serbians? Malaikum salam, Ali. How's it going? Yeah, people don't understand America is barely a country. It is yeah, it's a corporation. It has always been a corporation. You know, it's just let me tell you what it is. People are just so scared of saying it. They think it's un-American. It's not un-American. It's just being truthful. That white picket fence to the white picket fence, the three kids and a wife and a dog. That's it's like being in the fucking Matrix. You could get the real truth about what the fuck is going on, or you could just get the imaginary part and just live your life out like that. You know, that's all what it is. You know, and I'm sorry to use the Matrix. I don't like to use the Matrix. I think it's weird, but that's what it's like. You know, you could be brutally honest and be like, "This shit's a fucking corporation." There's no such thing as no white Christian country in America. There isn't. This is a fucking atheist fucking country. If you ask me, it's just you know what we choose. We can choose what we want to think the world is. You know, and it's okay. It's okay. You know, you could be whatever you want in this fucking world. And if anybody wondering what I'm drinking, that's ginger tea, honey ginger tea. But yeah, it comes with that. Hold on, thank you. You keep hitting them with the screen. I will throw in the insults. Red pill, blue. I wouldn't say red pill, blue pill because of that manosphere. That manosphere is weird. I think both of those. I'm gonna say this. I think that red pill, blue pill manosphere. I think that I think they work with the matrix, you know, or the system. You know, they work with the system. The Myron Gaines worked with the system. Even though he gets shut down, he's working with the system. You know. Now, let me tell you what it is. The question is, and I always look at a lot of these systems as the Epstein system. Jeffrey Epstein had a system. Jeffrey Epstein, he was giving people, you know, their dirty desires of doing nasty shit to things. But it always came at a price. It's not like, oh yeah, you know, I'm from like Massachusetts and stuff, and I'm into swinger parties, so I go to the little parties and stuff like that. Me and my wife go to a few things, and you know, we both get our freak ons with dozens of people. It's not like that. You know, it's like, yo, you know what? What do you really desire? You know, this is like, yo, that system is technically like talking to the devil. That's like talking to the devil because they're giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. You know, it has always been like that. Like, I knew that the red pill, blue pill was a part of that system. Is when Black Americans was worrying about Black Americans, when people were saying Black Americans do not get along with other Black Americans, and we proved them wrong. Until this day, you know what they called us after they found out that we get along? Xenophobic. They called us xenophobic. They called us divisive. That's what they call us. Yes, he was an intelligent asset that gives you what you want and gets the black. Yeah, it's true. But you got to understand who did Epstein have around him? There was three type of people he had around him. He had leaders, he had politicians, and he had influencers. He had those type of people around him, and they were all rich billionaires or some type of had some type of power. He had those three type of people around him all the time. If you ever notice, those three type of people around him, influencers, was it people who are in the music game? Uh, was it influence people in the music game? People who who are activists. He had around him. Now let's go to leaders. He had as they said, the Donald Trumps, those type of people, the Prince Andrews, those other and etc. You know, what was I say? The influence, the influence, the leaders, and now we got to look at the politicians, the people that run the world. All them niggas was around him. All them niggas was around him. They were all partying together. They were all partying with him. Now you got to think, if he has all three of those people together and they all in this tight circle, the nigga's running the world. He's a small fry, but there's people over him that is running the world. He's influencing these people to do what they want, what he wants them to do. Yeah, you sign a contract with the devil, you get what you deserve. Yeah, them niggas was signing contracts. That was a contract that they signed. When you did those freaky, nasty shit, disgusting shit, the torture chambers, the nigga was running. You remember that movie Hostel? They were damn near running that shit out of the Epstein Island. They were damn near running that shit out of the Epstein Island. Super racist, like he keeps black Americans out of racist, of course. Yeah, I agree with you, Ali. And I'm gonna say this. You know what? I don't think it was about color. It was about money and influence with them. Because they said Oprah was there. Allegedly, Oprah was there. But wouldn't. Oprah would not even help a black person. She'd rather help Africa than to help her own people. You know, and it's just it is what it is about Oprah. As soon as those pilgrims touched our shores, they brought diseases and Satan. Yeah, you were in the, yeah, that's true, Dorsey. It's just if you ever notice when those pilgrim type of motherfuckers ever touch any type of continent, country, land, it's all destroyed. You know, they're like the plague if you really look at it. Whenever those type of like Neanderthals touch any type of land, it's like they're like the plague. You know, they destroy land, they take all the resources that destroys the country or the place or the system or they steal all the resources. No, read those emails. They hate. Oh no, they hate black people. Yes, that's. I personally think that's just a cultural thing. Ali, I do agree with that, but they love money more. They love money more. There was a few black people that got through there. I think Oprah was one of them. You know, there's gonna be a few black people, and like I said, don't forget. You gotta understand, and I get what you're saying. Is it a color thing? Um, that's probably a reason why there wasn't that many colored people there. Yes, I do agree. Is because they don't like black people. But we can't stop. We can't forget that the most influential people, the ins- most inspiring people are Black American people. You know, we can't forget about that. If that shit doesn't go through Black American culture, influence, work, it's not gonna work. Like, for example, We could talk about all this pop music, this pop music, that pop music, this, but there wouldn't be pop without Black Americans. Black Americans wrote most of those, damn near 90% of pop music. If it's not the Swedish people, if it's not the Swedish and a few white people, it's mostly Black Americans. The Teddy Rileys, the R. Kellys, the fucking Babyface, fucking Teddy Riley. It's mostly Black Americans that write most of those shits. You know, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that we're so influential and most inspirational. Most of that shit has to go through us or through a system of ours. So you're not wrong. You are right. I seen them emails that they had like, yeah, we don't want these nigga babies and all this other. They didn't say nigga babies. I'm just saying it in a Rosalind talk. Um, they wanted the Spanish and the white, but I personally, I'm gonna be personally honest, Ali. I think they took African babies too because they were in Africa too. A lot of these people were in Africa. You know, they weren't just taking Eastern European babies. They were taking some African babies too. I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised, especially when you got the Clintons over there, nigga. Just today, did they bring disease? Yeah, facts. Rewriting history. Yeah, I agree with you, Lala. But it's like I said. That's all of that shit's a system. I started really knowing. I started noticing that all the system. I used to believe, like I said, I was fascinated with the Matrix, as they all say. Like this stuff is a system. This is planted, but you got to understand this Matrix that a lot of these people are been talking about. Black Americans been saying for years. When niggas was saying the CIA was behind a lot of this bullshit that has been going on, yes, I have been. Yo, Black Americans have been saying that. For example, them killing damn near all our fucking Black American leaders, and we could throw some Black immigrant leaders that defended Black Americans. They killed them off. They torment them. They yeah, it's that's why they linked up with. Yeah, I agree with you, Ali. I agree with you. Yes, you know, but I like I said, I think mostly that shit was a money thing. You know, money and influence. Like, don't forget, I think Epstein was a billionaire. He was a billionaire or close to a billion. His his skill was an investment. I forgot investment in finance. That's his bread and butter. That was always his bread and butter. Finance and investments. He would I wouldn't say he's the smart of the smart. He had a better teacher than everybody else. You know, because his teacher, the person who taught Epstein, was into that shit too. Epstein been doing this shit since the 80s. I think a little bit longer than that because he met his teacher in the 70s and 80s that was fucking around with the finance that put him onto the team. Epstein was, and I'm gonna tell y'all this: Epstein wasn't the first one to be doing shit like this. He wasn't the first. He was just a nigga who got caught up in that system, and we caught him. Niggas caught him. You know, they caught him. You know, so and it's like I hold on a second. Like we can't. I always tell people all the time, we can't be mad at. This is when Black Americans started to understand, like this system. They were gonna use us as the buffer class for the rest of our life. We were always gonna be the lower of the low if they really wanted us to. It's just our resilience wouldn't let us. This is why they brought crack into into the in the communities in the 80s. They brought that shit. They were like, "Yo, fuck it, let's make the money. Let's fund this war." And also, the bonus is we fuck up their community and take the mama and the daddy out the house. It wasn't like the coke era, nigga, niggas was like, yo, selling their babies in the 80s. Like real talk, niggas was selling their babies in the 80s. Bitches talk about I suck your dick for some crack. Like niggas was bugging out. Yeah, you got that with coke. Yeah, kinda, but that's a rich man's drug. Let's personally be honest. That's a rich man's drug. You know. Did y'all see what Britney Spears said Oprah had her do? Nah, what she say? Cutting names in her. Oh shit. Yeah, Oprah, yo. I'ma say this. Fucking Paul Mooney said like Oprah never after the color purple, we have never seen Oprah or Whoopi back together ever again. They said was it and Paul Mooney made a joke and said like, yo, Oprah was out there eating babies. That's what they were saying. So I'm gonna say this. Allegedly, Oprah was there. Paul Mooney was making jokes about that shit like 10, 15, 20 years ago. Paul Mooney was making jokes about that shit. Like, yeah, them niggas don't really fuck with each other after the color purple. Yeah. They say, yo, I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened, yo. Whoopi probably walked in the room and fucking Oprah probably had a baby leg in her hand. We don't know. We don't know. But let's get back into the topic. Yeah, we were. Oh my god, I never thought about that. I haven't. I haven't. Never even. Yeah, there's a reason why they haven't seen each other. They went different directions. If you notice, they went different directions. And Whoopi was the real star of that movie. How the fuck Oprah had a better career than Whoopi? It's I'm just putting two to two together. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not trying to say it's fake. I'm just saying, you kind of put two and two together. They haven't really talked ever since the color purple, We don't know what happened. And I heard Paul Mooney making jokes about that before he died, you know, saying Oprah, we don't know how Oprah's gonna look, fat or skinny. Um, And plus, we haven't seen Oprah ever since fucking this Epstein shit started coming out. So it's saying something. But yeah, this is why I say, yo, a lot of this pro black stuff, when you stay out these niggas' business, this is what happens. This is what happens, everybody. This I'm gonna say this. This is a chain reaction. I always tell people these are chain reactions when stuff like this happens. When black Americans stay out of people's, just stay out of the whole situation. When people target us, we just brush it off and do, get our money and stuff like that. We start to see that, a lot of these white supremacists, these Pan Africans, They can't do it. The black diaspora, it just doesn't work anymore. Like, yo, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever seen the black diaspora in this type of shambles that is in right now? Have you ever seen the white supremacist turn on a white supremacist only if you read it in history? We have been seeing a lot more white supremacist shootings in the past 5 to 10 years than we ever seen. Than we ever seen. That's saying something. That's saying something. We're doing something right. And when we do our mind our business, we got the Snow Bunny Kings, we got the Shabakas, we got the St. Michaels, that's trying to disrupt stuff. This is telling y'all something. This is telling y'all something. You know, but before I start the show, I will be back, but I will give my big announcements right now. Starting next month, in the middle of September, I will be selling T-shirts with the Bronze Reaper logo on it. I'm gonna have 4 to 5 different logos, and I will be making it out of. I will be I will be pressing it myself. I will be pressing. Oh heck, bit my tongue. I will be making the Bronze Reaper media podcast logos, and I will be having certain colors and stuff. But I even got something good for y'all Pan Africans. I'm gonna do a Pan African edition for y'all niggas. Just so y'all don't feel left out, saying that Rosalind Perkins, this xenophobic nigga. No, I'll have a logo for you. I'll have that Bronze Reaper logo with you with the red, yellow, and green for you. And who knows? Maybe in November, I'll have the Irish ones for you. Just throw a few of those out there for you. So I'm gonna just say this is like a little test run. I'm gonna get me a heat presser. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it in here or in another room. But I will be doing those for you. I will be putting them on t-shirts for you, the Bronze Reaper logo. Definitely. And I will be doing deals too. Certain deals I will do. So yeah, shout out to the team. We put that together. We had a talk this weekend, and that's what they said. They say, yo, you should make the logos. And I got a new logo too. So I might even give you the new logo. So yeah, who knows? But shout out to everybody. Thank y'all. Like I always said, thank you for almost 3 years. We did this for almost 3 years, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for sticking by me. Thank y'all for having to, being on the show with me. We have been doing a lot lately. So definitely I might have the t-shirts out. I'm thinking about gray, like the gray, bronze, and black t-shirt. I think I'm gonna stick with bronze and black or bronze and gray. Depending on the logos and stuff like that. But everybody, give me like 2 minutes and I'll be back. Everybody, hold on, let me play some music for y'all. I guess gotta run to the bathroom, check the little kiddos. What's going on, Miss Ramirez? How's everything? Let's see. Yada yada yada. Bronze, do you have a sword? Well, I don't have no sword. No, Dorsey, I don't got a sword on that flag right there. That's it. That's a little bit of it right there. U.S. Starbucks. Let's see. Voodoo, aka. This is a big one to the pretendians. Oh, yeah, voodoo's from Africa, but hoodoo, well, hoodoo's from America. Hoodoo, yeah, is from America, but voodoo, yeah, we can say that's African. Um, yeah, hoodoo's different from Africa. I don't know what you're trying to say, Black Snow Bunny King, but okay. Let's see. So let's see what kind of soil for what. Do I need one? Yes. Go where you want it. Because frankly, we don't give a fuck. Facts. The educated African leaders are not representative of FBA's. Stop tethering off of African American. What is African American? Like, what's African American? Because Elon Musk is African American. You know, do you consider Elon Musk African American, Black Snow Bunny King? Okay, remember that woman with the. Nah, I don't got a sword, Dorsey. Black sucker, you don't have voice here, big dummy. You people are pathetic. Black King, you're insignificant. Okay. I'll look into swords are good for fighting and fighting close quarter. From my understanding, voodoo requires blood, and hoodoo is based on offer. Yes, you are right, Lala. You are right about that. Let me show you this book. Give me a second. I do got a hoodoo book. Oh, a voodoo book. Somebody gave me this as a present 10 years ago, and I would say just reading into it, it deals with a lot. Do they use blood? Hoodoo uses blood somewhat. I will say that. Yeah, hoodoo would uses blood somewhat. But the voodoo, like offering stuff like that, that's more of a voodoo. That's more of African sacrificing, dealing with certain entities and shit. Yeah. That's not really Black American. That's more African. You know, who's it Mami Wata? You know, Papa Lungo. You know, that's Haiti. So it's yeah, you're right. I'll say that. Oh, let's see. Let's see. But yeah, let's jump into it. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. We're about to go into the watch a few videos, so I'm about to turn it on to subscribers only. Wednesday it will be subscribers only on Wednesday, but yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna be making t-shirts with the logo on there and stuff like that. Um, I'm thinking about 25 per t-shirt. I might do who's it? Buy three, get the you get the fourth one free. You buy two, you get the other one half off, or you pay 10%. I'll figure something out. I'm starting to work on that and stuff like that. Like I'm good with marketing, so I'll definitely do good with marketing and stuff like that. So yeah, give me a second, everybody. Yada yada yada. So it's subscribers only right now. So don't forget to like and subscribe, comment in the live chat. If you're not a subscriber, you can't be in the live chat. So just subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And this is to if you're in YouTube. Also, if you want to donate, I have Cash App, I have Venmo, I have Cash App, I have PayPal, and my GoFundMe for my show, Brother Morningstar Sir Adam's Great Portrayal. So definitely get that. And we will be like again, I'll keep you up on updates on the t-shirts, the logos and stuff like that. So if you're gonna be looking in the post lately, I mean next, I will be putting pictures of logos for the t-shirts and stuff. So yeah, thank y'all again. Thank y'all for supporting me and stuff. Um, on here, I gotta figure out the system where I could I could put something and people can buy them. I'm gonna do a little bit more research with that, but yeah, definitely. And so we got like a month and a half to actually figure out what's going on and stuff like that. So yeah, just again, just give me some time. Definitely will figure it out. And thank y'all, everybody. I do appreciate that. But let's jump into the videos and stuff like that. Let's see, yada yada yada. And don't forget to hit that poll. We're gonna see what people are thinking. And Snow Bunny King, don't get mad when people disagree with you. All right. So this one is called "Everybody Want to Be Black Now." And I think this is where a lot of this stuff comes from, a lot of this hostility towards Black Americans, because Black Americans is actually telling y'all, yeah, y'all not black now. And a lot of y'all don't have nothing to be mad about. It's just you brought that on yourselves. But let's watch it.
FBA news today, we break the chains. Truth, yeah. No.
I'm Dominican. I'm no black. I'm Dominican.
I don't identify as being black.
Because I'm not black.
I came in a plane. They came in chain. Yeah, I'm passenger in their cargo.
I am not black, okay?
And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we're not black. We will never be black.
Being African doesn't mean you're black.
Hold up.
About it, we're not black. We will never be black.
Being African doesn't mean you're black.
I never really saw myself as a black person.
Already pointed out that I'm Haitian. Why do I now have to now submit to this idea of being black?
Thank you. I agree with her. She said she's Haitian. Doesn't mean she's black. So I, I agree with y'all. I've been agreeing with a lot of y'all.
Never and will never identify myself as black.
I got my red filter on because I'm black American, foundational black American, and right now, black is hot. Yeah, but I got to put my red flaming hot filter on. Trump said, didn't nobody want to be black? For 60 years, at least, nobody wanted to be black except for us, black Americans. Black is beautiful. Black power. Black and I'm proud. We were the only ones that was black. And it was good because people were saying, me no black. I'm not black. I'm such and such, such and such and such and such. I'm not black, right? So I'm just wondering what the hell happened. All of a sudden, everybody wants to be black.
Puerto Ricans are black. Dominicans are black. Jamaicans are black. Nigerians are black. Creole people are black. When I was growing up, none of these groups wanted to be black or be associated with blackness. Very much so anti-black. So I'm in shock how everyone all of a sudden wants to be black. When it all comes down to it, they don't want to be black. It's just that they want to be able to be a part of black culture and be able to use the N-word. and be able to go in and out of Blackness whenever they choose, to take our scholarships, to be our representatives, but they don't actually want to be a part of Black America or part of our struggles. But they very much so want to be a part of our triumphs and celebrations.
I have a question. When did everybody start calling themselves Black? Is this, I feel like this is new. When did everybody start identifying as Black? Because before, everybody was everything but Black. Now all of a sudden,
For you,
oh, I'm Black too. I'm Black. I'm Black. I'm Black. I'm Black. I'm Black. I'm Black.
I'll try to do a special order for you, Lala. Definitely.
To the point where the people that have been Black forever, now we need a new freaking name change. Like, what is going on?
Yo, family, what's good? FBA News, today and current events. I'm T Model ZX. Have you noticed something lately? Have you really been paying attention? Everybody want to be Black now. Everybody. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody's Black. Everybody's a brother. Everybody's a sister. Everybody's we in this together. And I need y'all to understand why this is happening. Because it's not love. It's not unity. It's strategy. It's survival. It's panic. Let me break it down. Number one, they finally realized something we've known our whole lives. Foundational Black Americans cannot be deported. We all knew this, but for some odd reason, they missed the memo. There is no country to send us back to. This is our country. Our ancestors built it. Our lineage is in the soil. Our blood is in the foundation of the White House, the Capitol, and Wall Street. Literally and physically embedded in the bricks. When the deportation machine started rolling, everybody with a passport from somewhere else started sweating. And guess whom they suddenly wanted to stand next to? Us. The people with the deepest roots in this land outside of Native Americans. Number two, the culture. Let's keep it all the way real. FBA culture is the culture. The whole world imitates us. The music, the slang, the walk, the talk, the fashion, the swag, everything. You can go to Tokyo, London, Lagos, or Kingston, and they're imitating us, not the other way around.
Everyone's trying to act like they're Black nowadays. What's up, y'all? Everyone.
Foundational Black American culture is the most copied, borrowed, and stolen culture on the face of the earth. When it's time to look cool, be marketable, sell records, or land a brand deal, oh, they're Black then. Real Black. Blackity Black. But family, if you really think about it, FBA doesn't copy any other culture. And that originality is what makes us great. But yesterday, and I mean yesterday, these same people wasn't Black. I'm not Black, I'm Nigerian. Me no Black, me Dominican. Me no Black, me Haitian. I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican, man. We heard it in school, we heard it at work, we heard it in the barbershop. They made it very clear. They separated themselves from us on purpose. They didn't want to be associated with Black Americans because they bought into the propaganda about us. They came here believing what the media told them, that we're lazy, that we're dangerous, that we don't want anything. They stepped over us to get to the American dream we made possible. The civil rights movement that opened the door for the 1965 Immigration Act, that was our blood, our marches, our dogs and fire hoses. They walked through a door that foundational Black Americans got beat down to open, and then turned around and told us they're not Black. But now everybody's Black. Now it's us. Now it's we. Now it's the diaspora. They're starting to realize just how cruel it is to be FBA. No, let me rephrase that. They've always known.
Do you got a good long range radio brand you like? Not that I know of, Lala Brown. I'll definitely answer that question. Not that I know of. Give me a second. Let me see if I ever got. I don't know, Lala. I never thought of that. I never thought about that. A radio station was hold on. Radio brand? No, not no radio brand. Not that I know of. But do give me information on it. On what you're trying to do, or what you're trying to say. Yeah, definitely. Notice the FBA is tethering off the achievements of the Africans. Who do you mean of African Americans of the '60s? Who do you mean? I'm not trying to. I don't get what you're saying, Black Snowbunny King. Who are these African Americans that you are talking about in the '60s? Can you explain? What you got? So, but let's keep on going on with the show.
It was cool to be FBA. That's why some people don't want us using the term. They would rather we continue referring to ourselves only as African Americans. What changed, family? I'll tell you what changed. FBA changed the game. The moment we started identifying ourselves by lineage, the moment we said,
Snow Bunny King, you're asking a question with a question. I asked you the question. Who are these African Americans that you are talking about? Why are you asking me the same question I just asked you? Who are these African Americans you are talking about?
foundational black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, a specific people with a specific history and a specific debt owed. That's when the panic set in. Because here's the thing about the term FBA. It's precise. It's a receipt. It says, my ancestors were enslaved here. My family was terrorized here. My people endured redlining, Jim Crow, the Tulsa Race Massacre, and the Tuskegee Experiment here. Therefore, the debt must be settled here, with us. That's also why some people, including some black immigrants, push back against the term. Let's be honest about it. They may call FBA divisive, but they also recognize the importance of being a foundational black American, and they know that the designation refers to a specific lineage they may not share. That's the heart of the issue. The term has value. The term has power. The term carries a historical claim, and not everyone can make that claim.
That's why they push African American so hard. Because African American is safe. It's easy. It's a catch-all. It fits right into the narrative. Anybody from anywhere in the diaspora can slide up under African American and get counted in our numbers. Take our affirmative action slots. Take our diversity hires. Take our set-asides. And, the big one, position themselves for our reparations. African American is the umbrella they need us to stay under so the count stays blurry. FBA closes the umbrella. FBA says lineage or nothing.
Now, why the sudden brotherhood? Why is everybody in panic mode? Family, because they're afraid that whatever FBA accomplishes, they won't be a part of it. That's it. That's the fear that keeps them up at night. Reparations conversations are getting louder. Lineage-based claims are getting sharper. California did a lineage study. The receipts are being organized. And every time the word lineage gets attached to a benefit, somebody who spent 30 years saying, me no black, starts sweating through their shirt. That's what bugs the hell out.
Dorsey, Black Snow Bunny King, are you going to explain yourself? What do you mean when you say African American? Who are these African Americans that you are talking about? Are you ducking and dodging my question? I'm just asking a question, Snow Bunny King. It's not supposed to be, ha, I got you. No, it's just a fucking question. Why are you ducking and dodging my question?
Out of them the most. Not that FBA is divisive or anti-immigrant. What bugs them is that FBA might actually win, and the prize will have a lineage requirement on it. Let me give y'all the perfect analogy, because this is
you know what I'm saying. Snow Bunny King, I didn't ask you that. That's strike two. I need you to answer that question. Who are these African Americans that you are talking about? Can you please explain? That's all I'm asking you is just explain who are these African Americans that you said in the 60s. That's all I want you to answer. I'm not trying to like I got you. My nigga, why you act like I'm doing this out of bad faith? Like I know you're still trying to keep face, but like come on, my nigga. The language I think tank is far superior to it. Like, yeah. Okay, Snow Bunny King. That's strike three. I'll see you in 15 minutes. All right, player. I just needed you to answer that question. And when you come back, if you want to answer that question, you
Exactly what this
can. If not, you gotta go for today.
is. This is a bad marriage. Stay with me. You got one spouse who spends years doing the other one dirty. Disrespect after disrespect, little comments, little put downs, taking and never giving, stepping on them to climb, talking bad about them to everybody at the function, year after year after year. And the other spouse takes it and takes it and takes it until one day they're done. They file for divorce. They pack their stuff. They start a new life. They start glowing. They start winning. And what happens? All of a sudden, the first spouse is at the door crying, begging, pleading. Baby, I've changed. Baby, we're better together. Baby, don't do this to us. Us? There was no us when you were doing the dirt. There was no us when it was me, no black. There was no us when you were telling your kids not to date black Americans. There was no us when you were repeating white supremacist talking points about us with your accent on it. But now that FBA filed the divorce papers, now that we're identifying by lineage, organizing by lineage, and demanding by lineage, now it's we are one. Now it's the police don't check your passport before they pull you over. Now it's they see us all the same. And look, that last part might be true in a traffic stop, but a shared problem is not a shared lineage. Getting profiled together doesn't make your great-great-grandmother enslaved in Mississippi. The debt is not for everybody who catches racism in America. The debt is for the descendants of the people this country enslaved. Period. So all this unity we're seeing all of a sudden, let's call it what it is. Fake unity. Unity of convenience. Unity with the deadline. Unity that showed up the exact same season the reparations conversation got serious and the deportations got real. That's not brotherhood. That's a business decision. That's somebody trying to get their name on a check they didn't earn and can't cash. Real unity doesn't start with stop saying FBA. Real unity doesn't start with you don't know where you're from. Real unity doesn't need us to erase our lineage so everybody can eat off our claim. So let me close this out and speak directly to everybody who found their blackness in the last 5 minutes.
If you want unity, real unity, and you want respect, here's the program. It's simple, it's free, it's 3 steps. Shut up. Stop talking about us. You've had decades of commentary about black Americans. We're not taking notes from you anymore. Respect us. Respect our lineage, respect our claim, respect the term FBA, and respect that our fight is our fight. And get out of our way. That's it. You don't have to help. You don't have to march. You don't have to say we. Just don't stand between foundational black Americans and what we're owed. You do those 3 things? Cool. We can be cordial. We can be neighbors. We might even get to something real one day. But this fake unity, this deathbed brotherhood, this we are one that showed up right.
Dorsey, Stokely Carmichael is he's Trinidadian. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is half Trinidadian. I don't think a lot of people know that, but he's still FBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still FBA, but he is half Trinidadian too. He does ride out for Black Americans as well. So even if he was full Trinidadian, he's a rider. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know,
When the check started clearing, we see it. We've been seeing it, and we're not falling for it.
If this rant hit different, don't just sit there. Hype this video up. Smash that like button, flood the comments, and share it with everybody who needs to hear this message. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode. Because we're just getting started, family.
and shout out to FBA News Today. I know that's a what you call it. I know that's a AI, but shout out to the guy. Let's go to the first one. African diaspora. I was watching a little bit of this earlier, but I didn't watch all of it.
That we are on live, so you don't script them. I kind of go off of just where I'm feeling. So that's just kind of how I do these streams. It can go either way, it could turn, but I like the freedom of that. Let me share this real quick that we are on live. So give me a second. Before I get to any of that, let me say something. I started going to the African continent 2018. You know the story. I had no thought process of nothing going to no African continent whatsoever. I'm just here doing what I do. And, I was invited. I ended up going. And it was great experience. And I received nothing but love while I was there in Ethiopia.
St. Michael's. What is wrong with that? What's wrong with having him? What's wrong with him having a mixed wife, a mixed race wife? Black Americans don't have a problem with people being another culture. St. Michael's. It's only white people. Like you. You're mad at J.D. Vance because his wife is Indian. You know, his wife is a cow poop eater, but it's his wife. He loves her. You know, a writer is a person that supports. When we say, "Oh yeah, that person's a writer," we just saying they support Black Americans or support FBAs. Like Ramirez, I'll say you're a writer because you support foundational Black America. You support Black American cause and situations. So that's all it is. But yeah, St. Michael's has a problem with mixed race dating. I think that's St. Michael's problem. St. Michael's, quick question: have you ever had sex with anybody other than white? Or have you? That's if you're not a virgin. I don't know the way how you talk. I know you don't really get pussy on a daily basis. I'm just asking the question. Yeah, that's cap. That's cap. They take actually Snow Bunny, St. Michael's. They don't support Black Americans, especially Black men. No, that's a lie that you are telling, and you shouldn't lie like that.
So much so that I'm like, man, we need to see about we can bring people together. I mean, because man, it's much bigger than just what's going on here in America. So that was why I made a complete switch up on just content strategy and our mission of what we're doing.
I'll say this, St. Michael's: bestiality doesn't count. What you do with your little farm animals and shit, or in your meth lab, that doesn't count. That's called bestiality and it's illegal. So you got to be careful doing shit like that, St. Michael's.
Here. And I know we've always had immigrants in America from the African continent, Caribbean, etc. But all these years, I've never seen some of the things I've seen today. Now, I want to make sure I say this with balance and reality. I work with continental Africans every day. I talk to continental Africans all the time. We work together. We do meetings. I'm going to be in a continent later in the week. So I'm always working with continental Africans. And I can tell you on the continent that I've never heard some of this stuff we is hearing now. I've never experienced some of this anti-Black American sentiment. So I'm in my mind, I'm kind of figuring out maybe where some of it's coming from, but I'll explain that a little later. But trust me, because what happens with the internet, you got to be careful with the internet. A person will see a video and then they will say, okay, this is a representation of all these people. So now I'm going to go after all these group of people, right? And put everybody in the same box. I got brothers and sisters from the continent writing me, asking me, Phil, What's going on with them? Like, hey, they embarrassing us over here. We not even. I don't know what they got going on. So I get those kind of emails from brothers and sisters from the continent or from the Caribbean, any places, and they feel embarrassed by what they see going on here. And they say, hey,
I'll say this: the Africans that I come in contact with, I always have to explain. Um, I always explain that Black Americans don't hate them. We don't hate Africans. I personally don't. I have nothing against Africans. Have Africans done me dirty? Yes. I'm not gonna lie about that. They scared me out of a few hundreds. I pistol whipped one of them when I caught them the next day in Boston. Off was it not Dudley Street? In Rosendale. It's still Boston, but it was the town was Rosendale. But yeah, you have to be like you fuck to. Uh, I mean, oh, okay, thank you. Nobody.
man, this is we didn't send them over here. I don't know what they own. So because I get those emails and because I have been to the continent and dealt with brothers and sisters, then I'm like, okay, I know that is not a representation of all. And even immigrants here, I know that's not a representation of all. So let's not get into if we see it, let's view all, right? Say it with balance. But if we see it, we address it. And this is a unity conversation we're having today, right? Unity. Let me explain to you why it's a unity conversation, even when it comes to some checking, right? To make sure you get people in line with disrespect. The reason why you got to do that, if you have a bunch of good people over here, and then you got some negative people, some bad people here, those people will ruin all the good that these people are doing over here. Those people will cause fights, dissensions, everything with the people that's trying to do some work. So we got to identify.
St. Michael's. Let me ask you a question. Could you talk more about black and white people? What are white people good at that black people aren't good at? I know one thing that white people are not. I mean, black people are not good at that white people are. But I want to hear from you. What is something that white people are good at that a lot of black people aren't good at? You know, I'm just asking a question, man. Because you talk about a whole bunch of black degeneracy, and it's not all of us. It's probably like 5% of us, if that. Um, I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, you're a fucking idiot. You you suck donkey nuts and shit like that. No, actually, black Americans are great swimmers. That's just a stereotype. I personally can't swim because I really never wanted to learn. But if I wanted to swim, it only would take me like 5 days, if that. Um, but I will say this: I know what you're good at that black people aren't good at. Making Rice Krispie treats. White people make the best Rice Krispie treats. I will tell you that. The best Rice Krispie treats I ever had was from a white person, and I don't really eat off of white people like that. But Rice Krispie treats, yes. If they're not professional cooks or anything, I won't eat off a white person like that. That's just me. Yeah, it's just I'm just asking a question. I'll say Rice Krispies treats. No, you don't have no impulse control at all. Look at what your boy did. What's his name? Chuck himself and somebody else. What about all those kids that you know shoots up the schools and shit? The mass shootings. The sexual deviancy that comes out of a lot of your communities, St. Michael's. So I wouldn't say anything about impulse control. Um, that's a lie. But No, to each its own. If you believe that, if you like it, I love it.
Identify the problem child or the problem children, get them out the way by saying we see who you are, we know what you're doing, it's not going to be tolerated. Take that somewhere else, and understand that if you come here with this, it's going to be extremely hostile toward you for trying to mess up the good things that we all trying to do here in the community, right? And then once they get that pushback and they say, okay, I'm gonna fall back and stay in my place. So this is why we're doing it. This is, because some people say, well, mess up the good things. Y'all that we pointing this out, that's not bringing people together. Well, what they're doing is not bringing people together. That's tearing people apart. So a person in my position has to say, no, I can't sit up here and watch people try to tear others apart. We have to deal with those people so we can keep the unity going, right? Right. All right. Now, let's get to the devotional. Okay, let me see what Missy says here. Americans are causing the divide has been one-sided. Our hand has been slapped. So, it's a two-sided thing. On a continent, nothing but love. Like I say, I work with Africans every day from several countries. I work with people from Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, South Africa, many African countries from east, west, south. No issues, no problems. We work very well, right? But some people over here, they own one. And I told y'all, the U.S. Embassy selects people to come here. Do you really think they're going to select the people that think like Julius Malema or Professor Lumumba? Do you really think they're going to bring those Africans over here? No. They're going to bring the Candace Owenses of the world. They're going to bring the Sheriff Clarks of the world, that mindset. They're going to bring the Jesse Lee Peterson mindset from the continent. And that's what we have gotten. Of course, not all of that way. Not all. Because I have plenty of brothers and sisters in the diaspora who have immigrated to this country. I meet them on the street all the time, and they don't think that way. They love what we do. They want to work together with Black America to say, hey, we all in the same country. We got to figure this thing out. So for the sake of those people that I meet on the street, I can't put this on all. And I'm not going to let nobody put it on all. But we're going to address the people that's doing it. Okay. So real quick, devotional. We got to do our devotional. What would y'all like real quick? Would you like the Eric Mays devotional or you like the Super Mayor devotional? You let me know real quick so we can get the devotional.
Eric Mays, shout out to Eric Mays. Eric Mays, Uncle Mizzy. Uncle Eric Mays is a legend in the foundational Black American community. We love all the great things he has done for, I think, Detroit. Shout out Detroit. Much love to y'all.
Devotional going. And real quick, let me know. Eric Mays or Super Mayor devotional? I'm waiting on y'all. Who gonna be the first? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I got you. You saying that you in the UK, London, you have the same problem? You say okay, all right. So Chris is saying Eric Mays devotional. Everybody's saying the Eric Mays devotional. One say Super Mayor. Look like so far, you looking for the Eric Mays devotional? Okay, that's the devotional y'all selected for the day. We'll make sure to get up that devotional. Here we go.
I'm just telling you. I'm going to let you talk.
Who you talking to? You gonna let? The voters let me. I got voted in. Who you talking to? You gonna let me? I got seconds left.
I want you to know.
Ain't she crazy? How many seconds? I'm counting your time. Miss Galloway, I'm gonna rule you out of order. You keep talking so much.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do.
Thank you very much.
What a fool.
We have got to help the city of Flint. We have got to move the city forward. We have got to vote yes on this. Thank you.
Ms. Herkenroder, You the reason that I'm gonna vote the way I'm gonna vote, because you tried to put words in my mouth like I said you was a racist. You got to stop doing that. You've got to stop doing that.
Ms. Fields, please be very careful in that area. Please.
All I said there was mediation and there were people in rooms.
Details
That's
of who
not
in what
confidential.
room and how many.
But I am
what.
going to finish saying this.
Well, go ahead.
That's fine. Do you?
It shouldn't be fine. We got folks sitting in business, and I wouldn't care if you was the chair, the sofa, the TV. Point of information, Madam Chair.
What's your point?
Are you gonna sit and allow this man to talk all that tough talk, talking about what he ain't scared, won't, and you sit there and condone it? May I be?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the great and dearly departed Eric Mays for your devotional for today. And if you are enjoying the show, put a little bit on the super chat. That'd be greatly appreciated. Even better if you go ahead and download the app and get a membership there. So I seen a comment earlier. Every time we want to address these topics that's coming at us, like, think about it. Most Black Americans aren't really talking about anybody outside of what we got going on unless they come say something to us or something disrespectful. I've never been around any group of Black Americans, definitely I'm from the South, talking about any person in the diaspora in a negative way. No, I've just never heard it. Now, people in New York, the East Coast, they say, oh, well, when I was growing up, they would tease me about my food. They'll tease me about, they'll call me African food. They'll do this. That. And they still talking about that from kid stuff. And when I tell them, well, they call me African booty scratcher too, and I'm not from the continent, I'm not from the Caribbean, I'm not from any of that. What do you say to that when they call me that? That was just something they did back in the day. And remember, where it comes from National Geographic, which is a white-owned company. White people went to the African continent in the rural areas, where not in the city, but in the rural areas, and filming people while they're getting bit by mosquitoes and stuff like that. If you are walking around in your traditional garb and you don't have certain things on to protect you from mosquitoes, yes, a mosquito will bite you on. But I've been bitten. I live down here in Texas. I come originally from Port Arthur. I've had many mosquitoes bite me through my clothes. That's how bad the mosquitoes are in Port Arthur. Okay. And I've been bit on my butt before by a mosquito. So yeah, you're gonna crash it. Okay, it's not the end of the world. It is what it is, right? But that's back in the day. Kids don't even say that today. They don't even say that. So I don't know why that's brought up. Well, let's play this video. This video is quite. It's a little disturbing a little bit, but let's go and cue this up real quick.
I think about the most is Black Americans hate the most. They make it seem like the best Black people. A lot of African. Yeah, they make it the worst people. Yeah. Like they hold us back when we They got Martin Luther King. Yeah. Then, I mean, it's not just Black Americans. It's just Americans in general are just stupid. Now, if there was like a country that wasn't America, like, I honestly believe that people you go to America, you leave it. The plan. I don't surprise that flip it. Russia and Germany are next to each other. Europe is born. I'm in Europe. Where's he from? I'm saying, but they're like, I'm coming to Europe, man. That's it. Man, I'm coming here, man. They're right. They call me. Hey, man, I'm yo, Manchester. Man, I'm Sweden. Over there, yeah, the weather's like that's
a little bit and stop it in certain parts. When I first heard that, like, huh? I like, what? While they're using European talking that way. They're not in their homeland. They in Europe. Okay. Let's start over. Let's go.
I think the group I hate the most is a Black American.
Let's start here. Any group that is black Americans. Let's talk about that. Why do you hate black Americans so much? Like, listen, hate you do you. Last time I checked, give me from shout out to Costa Rica. Last time I checked, black Americans, we didn't colonize nobody in our planet Earth. Okay, check. We didn't steal artifacts from your countries and put it in our black American museums. Oh, but the Europeans did. So we didn't do that. Check. When you want your artifacts back, those same Europeans tell you, well, we'll loan you your stuff. We'll loan it to you. And if you agree to loan your stuff back, you don't have no hatred for the people who got your stuff. You have no hatred for the people who colonized you. But you got hatred for black Americans? And if you really want to go there, because I have to, because this is history, do you hate black Americans because you descend from tribes who possibly sold your brethren into slavery? And those you sold into possible slavery actually is in a better position than you today. Is it?
Dorsey, what am I mixed with? What's going on, Niggs? What am I mixed with, Dorsey? But let me I'm gonna add on to what OG is saying. And I think this is Phil Scott. OG's right. Like, you hate black Americans because you hate yourself. You don't really hate black Americans. You just hate what you became. I think this is what goes on with a lot of these cultures. I don't think it's jealousy. I think it's more of envy. Envy that you didn't do it. A lot of hatred because you didn't do it. Your culture didn't do it. Benin and FBI. What part of Benin I'm from, Dorsey? I would love to know. He said I'm from Benin. Let me tell you something, Dorsey. I think you and Shabaka is hanging out. You and Shabaka is hanging out too much together. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell the audience something. This is where the flip flop goes with Dorsey. Dorsey will Dorsey will put all of us in check. But when it comes to the pink toe, his theme song comes on. They call me Superman Lover. Yeah. They call me Superman Lover. Yeah. Something wrong. Something wrong with me. That's Dorsey's theme song. Dorsey be going, he be going Macho Man Randy Savage on the FBA half the time. Yeah, man, when I started attacking that pink toe, man, Dorsey, hey, he gave me $10 that day. He said, hold up, Bronze, you can't be doing that. I'm like, whoa. Am I talking to Dorsey right now? I had to do that. I was like, am I talking to Dorsey right now? He said, yeah, this is Dorsey. He had his little kufi on and everything, his little dashiki and everything. Yeah, he didn't have that cane he usually had. He had one of them root sticks that them pan-africans be carrying. The root sticks and shit. Talk about brother. You can't be doing that to no. You say you can't be doing that to no sister. I'm like, yo, is this nigga colorblind? I'm like, Dorsey, that's a white woman.
Could be that. Because think about it. To use the term hate, that's a very strong word. That's a passionate word. when you say you hate somebody. Think about that. And his cohorts is agreeing with him. So let's continue. You're talking about you hate black Americans. Okay, fine. Black Americans in 2024.
Facts, niggas. I agree with you with that one.
We are not going to your countries and robbing you of your resources. You have trillions of dollars of resources right now underneath your feet. And yet, everybody and their mama who's not black American.
Oh, shit. Those are crazy.
Come in.
Right. Facts, Lala.
Take your resources. Maybe China build you an airport, maybe some roads or whatever the case may be. They may give you a little bit more than the folks did, for getting your resources. But everybody can get your resources and make trillions off of it. The same European countries that you're sitting in right now, you're talking about you got cousins or whatever in Luxembourg and you're talking about all these different places, you're bigging up Europe, right? Those European countries wouldn't be to where they at without stealing your resources. But you'd rather sit up in their countries with stolen resources that come from your homeland, but you have hatred for black Americans who never took a thing from you. Bruh, like Jocelyn Hernandez says, can I live? Man, like, for real, like, why all the anti-black American sentiment? We aren't in control of your leaders. Your leaders there are people that come from your particular ethnic groups, right? They do you wrong. So wrong that you says you have to leave your homeland and go to Europe. Because more y'all go to Europe than y'all come to the United States. A lot of you are flooding Europe. Europe saying they in a migration crisis. And it serves them right because you take people resources and you living off of it. Well, people come and get their resources back. I'm not tripping on it. But you're not upset with those Europeans. You're not upset with the European Union. You're upset with black Americans. I mean, y'all, does that really make sense? Does it really make sense? It's like, just like on the screen, no one can justify anti-black American sentiment on collective harm. We have not collectively harmed no group of people. Let's run them down. The folks, we haven't collectively harmed them. If it wouldn't have been for us, they wouldn't be where they at today. Let's call it what it is. Before they met us, they were living in squalor in Europe. They couldn't get nothing going on until they got around us. Let's call it what it is. If you look at the Middle Eastern Arab countries, we haven't done nothing to them. If anybody that maybe Africans should have a hate toward, why don't you have a hatred toward them Arabs who had you in slavery first? The Arabs had you in slavery first. The white man got the game from the Arab, and once he learned the game, he turned into a way to colonize the world. I mean, he was just better at it. Let's call it what it is than the Arab was. We didn't do nothing to the Arabs as a collective group of people. We haven't done nothing to no Asian countries as a collective group of people. None. We haven't done nothing to East Indians. We haven't done nothing to no one in Latin America. We haven't done nothing to no one in the Caribbean. We haven't done anything to nobody. They can point out and say, you stole our resources, black Americans. You did this to our women. You did this to our men. Nobody can point that out. But, what is a sign that you are God's people? They will hate you without a cause. But remember, they hated me first. There's no other group of people on the planet Earth that's hated like black Americans hated for no reason. I don't see no other group of people that's hated like we are, and we haven't done nothing to nobody. Every time we get by ourselves, here come the world following behind us. They say they don't want us around them. It don't matter where people come from. It don't matter. They say we don't like y'all problems, y'all trouble, y'all criminals, y'all thieves, y'all. But yet, fact don't.
Give me 1 second, everybody. I disagree, bros. I don't think they they jealous. I believe. I really think they hate us because they know we are. We're not the same. That's why I'm saying. Yes and no. I think they envy us because they're not resilient as us. Like everything that we got, everything that the world looks at Black Americans, they look at us as they have to hate on us. But if they tell the truth of what Black Americans is, Black Americans are like the greatest thing ever. Probably one of the greatest species ever, influentially and inspirationally. You know, just because how we look, and they want to be that. If once you look at other people, we can look at we go down the line. Africa, people think Africa's dirty, third world country. Niggas driving the fucking Jeep Wranglers with AKs and shit. Niggas shitting in the streets. Niggas eating monkey knuckles and hyena legs and shit. Let's go to Jamaica. Niggas think niggas are smoking weed and doing degenerate shit. Niggas is robbing and stuff like that. We go down to Caribbeans. Niggas think niggas live in the jungle and shit like that. You know, niggas live in trees. We could go down to the Latinos. You know, Latinos niggas think and Latinos they think the Latino women's is washing their pussy in the river. You know, niggas picking candy corn. Was it the sugar canes and shit like that? They think they're extorting and selling cocaine. That's what people think. Have Latinos have done great things in this world? Absolutely. I do agree that they have the Latino community has done great things. But it doesn't over succeed Black Americans. It just doesn't over succeed it. So only thing that they can do is that they can hate, like be envious on us because all the great things that we have accomplished without other people, all the resilience that we have been through. We're the only ones that fought white supremacies. We didn't have to sign no treaties. We never gave up. No matter if we were enslaved, we still broke out. They couldn't send us to other countries because if they send us to other countries, we'll kill other people. It's just that's how great we are. You know, it's just like we're built for being resilient. There's no other people like that in this modern era. You know, this is why people look at us greatly, and this is why everybody try to tether on to us. This is why people hate us because they want to be us. Why you think people are cosplaying of being Black Americans now? There's a reason why. You know, there's a reason why a lot of these women having sex with Black American men because the legacy, the lineage, the genetics. You know, so it's this is why I always tell people, yeah, Black Americans have the best genetics. You know, these white women want Black American genetics. The Latinos want Black American genetics. It's just like, yo, we have great genetics. You know, it's just historically we're the best. We've been in every yup. Dorsey, yeah, we've been in every war. You know, and we could talk about let's do a whole thing. You know, the Haitians is always talking about, oh yeah, they helped us with the Civil War. No, nigga, you lost when y'all came over here. When they went to Savannah, they caught the ass whooping of the century. They thought this was 1804 and found and fucked around and found out, and the white boys gave them the beating of their lives. But when they try to do that to Black Americans, we got busy out there. It's just different, you know. So it's technically our DNA, you know, and don't forget a lot of those African tribes are different. They don't have the same DNA as us. Like for example, a lot of them could be big, they could be heavy set, they could be muscular, but they don't have a proportional DNA as us, genetics as us because we are an admixture. We have the admixtures of greatness. There's no admixture like us. There might be something similar at us, but the way how their DNA formulates through them, it doesn't work. Black Americans, our DNA formulates through everything. We could be in Alaska and live. We could live in Texas where it's hot, in Arizona where it's hot. We could be anywhere. We could survive in that in that climate. We would know how to survive if you just put us out there. Yes, it's just a lot of people can't. This is why a lot of people come to America because of all the help that they get. They don't see no homeless niggas on the streets eating like what they kill. Because if it was like that, niggas would be eating rats and shit, rats, cats, and dogs. And shit. You know, yeah, there'll be a nigga sleeping on a bench or something, but these nigga probably goes hard in Africa, and Africa needs help with that shit. It's just not gonna be Black Americans because Black Americans been trying to help Africa. But when Africans get down to America, they fuck it up for the Africans that's in their own country. They do. They fuck it up for them. Dude, um, give me a second, everybody. I'll let this play.
Tear that out.
I got.
Yeah, we say, okay, fine, no problem. We're a problem. We're gonna get our bags. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna stay over here. You stay over there. When Black America do that, everyone says Black Americans are wrong. So you don't want us around, but when we get away from you, you're mad that we got away from you, right? We want to unify with you, some of you, right? Some of you that came here, you say, nope, I'm not Black American. You Black, I'm this. You know, hey, I'm everything else but Black. I don't even want to live in Black communities. Okay, fine, no problem. We're gonna just be cool with that. We're gonna go over here. You Black Americans are divisive. What? You won't even live in Black American communities. You don't go to the Black American churches. You don't do nothing with Black Americans. But when Black Americans say, okay, cool, we're gonna just do our thing over here, now Black Americans are divided. Black Americans can't win for losing, guys. We can't. In America, for sure. We can't win for losing. Everybody can say they don't want us around. When we say cool, we're going to go do our own thing elsewhere. We're going to mind our own business. We're not going to dip our finger in nobody's water. We're going to leave it alone. Now we're divisive. Are we living in the Twilight Zone?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it just me that's realizing this? And where I'm at in life, I unify with those that want to unify with me. That's period. No matter where you from, if you unify with me, I'm cool. I will unify with you. I don't look at where people from and all of that. Long as you in the same spirit as me, the same tribe as me, you my brother, you my sister. That's it. If you're not on that, then I don't fool with you. But it's not just some of them, but let me get back to them and I'll talk about others here for a minute. So let me cue this back up. Let's cue this back up.
Of like the best Black people. A lot of them are African American.
Yeah.
But if you make a list of the worst Black people, the African American, like they hold us back but bring us forward. Like 10 steps forward.
Let's stop right there. That was an interesting statement that he just said, right there. He said they hold us back.
I don't know how.
You're in Europe, sir. It sounds like you're in the UK. You got a whole British accent. How Black Americans are holding you in particular back? The majority of Black Americans have no desire to be in Britain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of them. I don't really have a desire. If you see me in Britain, you better believe it's on some business.
Facts.
With African diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, for me, talking about, hey, I'm going to take my wife.
I'd rather go to dirty ass France. I'd rather go to dirty ass France than to the England, you know. Them niggas eat snails in France. They do. So saute some snails. I had snails before too. They're not too bad. Will I eat it on a daily basis? Nah. My baby mother eats snails though. Yeah. I'm not really. I don't really eat snails like that. I haven't ate snails in like 2-3 years. You know, but it's a delicacy in France. You know.
And kids to Britain. No, I'm cool. I said I need to see all the black nations first before I even think about that. I'm cool. If I want to go see Britain, I'll just go to Maine. If I want to see Britain. But how are we holding y'all back? Like, what superpower do we have where we can just move our fingers and no matter what we do, we're holding them back? Sir, are you saying that?
But let's go on to the next one. Nah, I thought I took that one off. Hold on. All right, so we're gonna skip this. I mean, we just finished this one, so we got 2 more left. This one's 14 minutes. This is a Tariq Nasheed getting into it. And shout out to Grassroots Reloaded. Shout out to you. That he or she always has great content. You want to go to Monaco for the pink toes for the white women, Dorsey. Dorsey, you know who you remind me of, man? You ever seen Don't Be in Mr. South Central, the nigga with the dashiki? He be spitting the knowledge and stuff like that, but he love white women. He be calling white women the devil, but he love white women. Let me tell you who they got that shit from. Fucking Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor used to talk shit about white people, but he loved white pussy. Yeah, he loved white pussy. Richard Pryor. Shout out to Richard Pryor. God rest his soul, man. But yeah, he loved them white women.
You guys do music that emulates our stuff. Afrobeats come from us, by the way.
That's debatable.
It's not even debatable. No, it's not. That's a fact. Fela Kuti got us. He said it. But go ahead.
But the thing is, the Nigerian tradition.
Fela Kuti is the man. That nigga had 20 wives. He was from Nigeria. He's like, boo boo da boo 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 boo. One wife is playing the bongo, boo 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 boo. Then one girl like, doo doo. Yo, it's crazy. Nigga was riding around with 20 wives. Yeah. God rest File too, man. File. I know File. I love his music. That's how I know who he was talking about. File, yeah. Oh, he like boop 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 damn boop 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 boop. Yeah, that shit.
Has been around way longer before FBA. So how could we have got it from you?
Nigeria hasn't even been around before FBA. Sorry,
no, forget the name Nigeria. I'm talking about our culture.
Right.
Tribes that we had, like Yoruba, Igbo, etc. It's been around way longer than FBA.
But those tribes have been remixed and amalgamated and pushed around and recolonized over and over again. You guys don't know the origins of those tribes. So the cultures shift. You get one person from another group who got pushed and colonized into that tribe. So it's all over the place. You don't have a long, deeply rooted culture, sir. You do not, sir, at all.
Tariq, we do. Like my great grandmother, I speak her native tongue.
Nigga, you sound
I'm in my indigenous land. Yes, our name's been remixed by white people, Nigeria, whatever.
It was a white woman. It was a white woman. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I still know. I know where I'm from. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I speak my first ancestors' native tongue. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you speak English.
Oh, hold on.
Yoruba.
Slow down. Because a lot of the languages over there, you got a lot of borrowed words from Arabic and other cultures that were brought over there, sir. So you keep trying to get onto this indigenous thing, but you guys were colonized for a long time, and you got a lot of borrowed words from different cultures, sir. And even last names, y'all didn't even have last names until the mid 1800s. Y'all didn't even have last names over there, sir, until the white people gave them to you.
No, we did.
You didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't have last names over there until you got colonized. You did not have last names, sir. But go ahead.
You see, Nigerian culture, yeah. Our names mean something. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
What's Nigerian culture?
Nigerian culture.
What is it?
Have you not heard of the Benin Empire?
Yeah, that's not just because the Benin Empire was phased out centuries ago.
No, but that don't matter. That's still Nigerian culture.
No, that's Benin.
That empire was listed as one of the most largest structures than the Great Wall of.
That's when the Nigerians turned their back on Benin. That's who he's talking about, Benin. The Nigerians turned their back on them. That's why they had a Benin War, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's a I think I'm gonna be personally honest. I think that's why a lot of Africans dislike Nigerians. I don't think it's a what you call it. I don't think it's because that they just don't like them and because they no, it's because they're not really trustworthy, you know. And I'm just talking from a historical point. I'm not talking about now because there's some cool Nigerian people. I met this nice little Nigerian girl probably 13 years ago. Yeah. She was a freak too.
Oh, that's when the area was called Laredo. That's not even Nigeria, sir. That was a whole different nation states. Not even the same nation state, sir.
Bro, that's Nigerian culture. What are you talking about?
No, sir. That's just not. It was a different nation state, sir. It was a different nation state.
Okay, was it not in West Africa?
Yeah, it was in West Africa, but that's just like saying Mexico is FBA culture, because part of the United States was Mexico at one point. No, different culture. Not the same thing, sir.
What's the more?
All right, Tariq, how do you feel about Nigerians being the most educated, black-skinned people in America? How do you feel about that?
I feel that you need to use that education to build toilets in your homeland. Why are y'all shitting the streets with all this education?
We are accumulating wealth in the West, and we're taking it.
Living in shanty towns with no electricity with all of that damn education. Make it talk to me. Why?
Because you see Nigeria has been failed by corrupt politicians and white expansion. Now this is the redemption arc. This is our redemption arc. The new generation is gonna
the government. Oh, the government. Oh Lord.
The government, bro, yeah.
All right, it's the government. Lord. Okay, we have a corrupt government here too. We ain't shitting in the streets, sir.
Okay, all right, let me touch on that. You have a corrupt government, but
yes, we do.
The difference between Nigeria and you guys is that's a white country. You feel, man? They're not going to corrupt. They're not going to dry America of its resources and deplete it because that's where they live, right?
Dude, they will try to do that if we let them. We just didn't let them.
What do you mean though? That's where they live. They're not going to do it, bro. They're going to keep it nice and clean because that's where they live.
Well, no, because the thing is, in South Africa, look at how they're living. They live with the white people. The white people live lovely. But black people...
Predominantly is black people there, right?
Yeah, and they're living in shanty towns out there. And the white people are living in condos and nice homes out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And y'all sit up here in these African nations and let these people run roughshod over you, and they're draining your resources and you blaming the government. You guys can handle that. We didn't let the government do that to us. We stepped up and said, no. What
do you mean you stepped up? Aren't you guys begging for reparations right now? You stepped up from where? What are you talking about?
We stepped up from not living like you, sir. You're the one who had to flee to Britain. I hear your British accent, by the way. You're in Britain right now.
I didn't flee nowhere, bro.
Yes, you're in Britain. You have a accent, sir.
I'm in Britain. I'm in Britain, and I'm in Britain, and I'm running it up, bro.
You fled. You got the hell out of there and fled, sir. You fled. You got them little old musty flip-flops and got an inner tube and got the piddle paddling across that pond up there to Britain, sir. How's your education working when you fleeing?
No, but I didn't flee. I didn't flee. My parents came here.
Oh yeah. You did.
My parents came here, bro.
You did. That's why I got a bug in your ass about us.
I'll give a little bit pushback on the Nigerian. No, on I'm gonna give King Flex a little pushback. Or add a little bit more, or add a little bit more. That's where actually no, I don't have to add a little bit more because I that's where I said this is where the envy comes from because they see us do it, but they can't do it in their own country. And this is where the body snatching shit comes from. A lot of this body snatching comes from us doing everything, but now they're trying to benefit off of everything that we did because because the elders let that shit slide. The elders let that shit slide. I don't let that shit slide, but not even. But it's just it is what it is. They let that shit slide. Now in 2026, Black Americans that are my age and younger are saying something like niggas, where's you from? Why is you talking like that? Like you have done something with us or you was with us.
No, we don't, bro.
Business, and we're demanding reparations. You're talking about we begging for reparations. We're demanding our reparations, and we're getting what we're supposed to get. We're not letting these people put us in shanty towns, and we're not out here defecating in the damn streets on a regular basis, sir. So that's what got you triggered, and we're 12% of the population here, and we ain't letting these folks run us down into dilapidated shanty towns, sir.
Yeah, but Tariq, all right, cool. So you see, the first time you guys requested for reparations, that would be classed as a demand. You see, when they heard, anything after that is classed as begging because they've heard your request and they've ignored it.
Projecting. Y'all got to go to the green card office and beg for somebody to let you in their country. That's you projecting. We ain't begging for nothing. We're letting them know you're going to give us reparations of one of these political parties. We're going to let them collapse. And that's what we're doing now. We're using our political power to put everybody on notice. That ain't begging. We're letting people know what the business is. That's why they're so desperate to try to get us to vote. So yeah, we're getting on code. We're not doing that tribalistic stuff that y'all do to the point where you got to flee because y'all still got those damn tribal nonsense ass beefs going on and y'all can't get them white supremacists and now the Asians off your back over there in your homeland. That's why you done ran your ass up there to Britain.
No, but that's classed as begging, Tariq.
No, begging is what you had to do to get up there to Britain, sir.
No one begged. No one in my
British anchor baby, sir. That's where the begging is. All right?
No one in my family begged or fled, though.
Yes, they do. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
We did.
You got a Nigerian flag and you ain't in Nigeria, so you had to beg to go somewhere else, sir.
Bro, but I built my families have so much property in Nigeria. We plan to go back.
The Prince of Zamunda, I know. All of you Prince of damn Zamunda. Yeah, I know. I don't want to.
Yo, Tariq, quick one. Let me land. Yo, Tariq,
I don't want to hear about all your Rolls Royces. I don't want to hear about your herd of elephants in your backyard. All right. Okay, Prince Akeem. I don't want to hear all that. Every one of y'all niggas are the Princes of Zamunda when y'all leave Africa. Every one of you. I don't want to hear it, sir. You got all of this stuff, but you ain't never there in it. You over there in Britain driving an Uber on the left side of the road, eating a damn English muffin. All right?
No.
Yes.
Right. Yo, Tariq. All right. How do you feel about the only black-skinned U.S. president being an African?
He was a no good tether. We elevated him, and then we let folks know his legacy wasn't worth a damn, and that's why he's persona non grata. All right.
Why can't y'all elevate a black American?
How do you feel about some of the most influential black people are foundational black Americans right now?
I respect that.
Right, and we got to put some respect on our name, sir.
I
Obama,
respect that.
he's not respected. So look, just show respect and learn. Just look and learn. Get some game from us. And
But
stop.
y'all can never be bigger than Africans. Never.
We're bigger than you now.
No, you're not.
Name one bigger than us.
Bro, you're
Name
not bigger than
Name
Africans.
Bro, name them.
You guys are insignificant. You guys are
Name
insignificant compared to Africans. What are you talking about, brother?
Name them. Well, name the significant Africans who are more prominent than us.
Individually, I'm not talking individually. I'm talking as a whole.
Somebody, shit. Name anybody. Name anybody.
Anyone, bro. There's so many, bro. So many. All right, the rich. All right. The richest black man. Okay. All right, the richest black.
You stammering. Name one who's more prominent than me. Go ahead.
Okay, Alika Dangote. He's the richest black man.
Nigga, please. Don't nobody know who he is. Global. You just name somebody that don't nobody know. Nobody knows.
He's the richest black man on this planet. What are you talking about?
Yeah, nobody knows him. Okay, nobody
don't need to know him. They don't need.
He is. He's the richest. He lives in Nigeria, but the country's fucking poor. He's like a trillionaire. No, he's like a billionaire, but he's poor. You know, he's mad. How you got you have the richest black man in anywhere that is black, and your country looks like shit. You know that it just tells how much Africans care for their own country.
To know him, he's been carved in history, bro. The richest black man in history, and he's from my country, Nigeria.
No, the richest black person in history is Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was he had $120 trillion. Mansa Musa. And he tricked it away. Mansa Musa is the fucking biggest trick ever. I gotta call it. He's a trick, you know?
Nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. He's probably some Negro that got some kind of deal with some white folks or whatever. Nobody knows him. He has no real influence. Nobody knows him.
They don't need to know him, brother.
He's not really that influential, and nobody knows him. He's
the richest black-skinned man on the earth. What are you talking about?
Nobody knows him. And his influence, what part of Africa is he from?
Nigeria.
Then why is he not using all of that wealth to help the damn country? Why everybody up there living in?
Why are you speculating? He is.
No, you don't sit there and talk about you got the richest black man in the world in the poorest damn country, in one of the poorest countries in the world. How does that work? Your country is the face of poverty. And
no, it's not. No, it's not. Nigeria. Hold on. Nigeria is one of.
Hold on, dude. Your country is part of the face of poverty. There's a reason why you're fleeing from there. How you gonna brag about the richest black man from your country, and y'all sitting up there in shanty towns and no toilets and no electricity? How does that work, brother?
Oh, that we're overpopulated. I don't even want to make excuses, right? But the main thing is
overpopulated. How come everybody ain't putting in work? If you got all of those people, how come y'all just can't get 10 of them niggas to say, hey, let's build some public toilets so everybody ain't shitting in the streets? That means more people are money. Mm-hmm. People equals money. That's what money is. Money is people. How come people can't put their tribal differences together and say, hey, all of us millions of people, let's all get together and build something?
It's a work in progress.
Dude, how long is that work in progress going to be going on?
However long it takes.
All right, then.
Eventually.
That's some Pan-African shit, everybody. Shout out to the Nigerian guy who tried to hold it down for his people, but my nigga, you did a very bad job. Hold on, let me see if I got the... Oh, nah. But yeah, he did a very bad job, but he tried. I could say that he tried.
I'm not.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being an influential person.
Still hear it. I can still hear it. Let me get a couple of people in here. Miss Fumi, who is that? Fumi, okay. Fumi, hop on in, Fumi.
Hello.
Hey, Fumi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Where you from, man?
I am from the Southeast United. I'm currently located in the Southeast United States, although I'm originally from Minneapolis.
Okay. Are you Somali?
No, I'm not.
What's your ethnicity?
I am African American.
Okay. Where's your family from?
My family is from uh so part of my family is from like very traditional South, Virginia, Louisiana, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Um, the other part of my family is more complicated.
Are they
Um,
Caribbean?
so the other side of my family, uh, is from one part is from New York and the other part is Caribbean.
Right. Okay. Because I can hear your Caribbean accent. I can hear it.
Well, how could I I'm from the Midwest.
I still hear it. I can still hear it.
Okay,
And
well,
it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not an insult, you know. A lot of us are very keen on that.
Hey, Dorsey, aren't you Caribbean? I totally forgot. You're Caribbean, right, Dorsey?
You know, my family, a lot of them are in the Midwest. So yeah, I can kind of hear a little Caribbean thing in there. Oh, are they from Jamaica? Where are they from? The Caribbean side.
Um, we don't know that much about it because there's just complicated stuff with there are people in my family who they didn't grow up with. There's like separation and stuff that happened.
Oh wow.
So
Okay. Okay. So you're living in the where you living? The southeast? Where you living in?
the Southeast, I live in Florida.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Oh, so what's on your mind, Miss Philby? What's on your mind?
So my friend Winter Soldier let me know that I should join a Tariq space. I think that I do have some views that I have some views that align somewhat with FBA beliefs and others that I think will probably contradict sharply.
What's an
I
hold on, what's an FBA belief?
um I mean, I would have to get some personal experience to know for sure.
What's going on,
It's
Yeah.
Reverend?
part of the reason why I came here.
Yeah, FBA is a lineage, man. There's not a belief to a lineage. There's 50 million foundational Black Americans. So there's no belief. You can be in a coma and don't believe anything and be a foundational Black American. It's just a lineage. You understand that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in social psychology. I got my undergraduate degree in sociology and I studied social movements.
Okay.
So I think that groups, I read a book called Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism by Robert Lifton.
What the
And
fuck you talking about?
um, it talks about identity, and I think it's a good. So I think that there are sort of levels to
Fuck
brainwashing. I
is
think there's sort of like
What the fuck is she talking about, man? She's talking about books, then she talk about psychology. Girl, you gotta stick on one topic. You gotta stay on one topic, girl.
normal normal group initiation, which is not brainwashing, and then there's coercive persuasion, which is true brainwashing. But I think all group initiation, including group initiation rituals pertaining to FBAs, would involve some level of identity scrutiny, which is why you lead with a question about my identity. So, um, uh, in a toxic group, Robert Lifton would say the very first step in brainwashing would be the assault upon identity. But in a healthy group, I think maybe you would do an assessment or an inquiry of identity, which is why you asked me if I'm Caribbean.
Right. Oh, so basically with that logic, foundational Black Americans, we've been getting assaulted by your fellow Caribbeans and Africans for decades because when they come over, the whole thing is stay away from those Akatas, stay away from those Yanks, stay away from those Jareers, and then they get on this group code. So are your fellow Caribbeans brainwashed in a group to be against us?
Well, I mean, being Caribbean it's a minority of my ancestry. A majority of my ancestry is African American, so I identify primarily with the African American side. But I think in in any clash of beliefs, I think I have my beliefs, you have your beliefs. There's going to be an underlying clash of identity, which is why, I mean, in order to take the reins, I think you're labeling me as Caribbean, as an outsider label. But you know, my family,
And
you know, we were slaves in America.
how did
Just
I
like,
know Caribbean ancestry? How did I know that?
well, I assume that everyone that comes in here who seems like they might not agree with you, it's the
You never,
assault upon identity is a tactic of all controlling people.
ma'am, when you came in, we didn't disagree on anything.
But you could anticipate that I might.
What makes you think that?
Because your views are pretty niche.
But how would I know that you would? And I don't even know what we're disagreeing with. When you called up, I heard a slight accent, and I knew that you were probably you had lineage from somewhere else, ma'am. It wasn't about disagree. I don't have no idea what you were going to talk about at all. But I knew that you were from a different lineage or had different lineage in your family. I just knew it, and I was right.
I
So
think identity is the core question at play when it comes to issues of power and issues of whether you belong in a particular place. And when you control how someone else sees themselves, you control their mind. So if you were able to convince me to change how I identify myself, then you'd be able to influence me. And I suspect that that's why you're such an influential person.
no, I didn't want to influence you. I just heard a slight Caribbean thing in there, and I just acknowledged it. It wasn't even a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with being a Caribbean. I'm not.
Well, there's no.
Let me ask y'all a question. Why are they so like embarrassed of being African or Caribbean or whatever they want to be? There's nothing wrong with being, and I say this all the time to all of y'all who are Caribbean. There's nothing wrong with being Caribbean or African. It's just we're just proud of our culture. We're proud of our lineage. What's wrong with that? You know, y'all should have the same pride that we have. You shouldn't have to like, you shouldn't have to parasite onto other people's cultures.
Nothing wrong with being an influential person. I think it's in a way you could argue it's a good thing, but I'm saying you have a cunning estimation of how to influence people because when you encounter people, you immediately label their identity, and that's what an influential person does.
Well, Caribbeans do that when they would drive cabs and say, hey, let's not pick those black Americans up. They were the first ones to identify us and discriminate against us for decades. So a lot of people do that. We don't do that in a negative, though. I just acknowledge that you're a person who seemed to have a different lineage. That wasn't a negative thing. But a lot of
Well,
people from your lineage come at us with a very negative connotation. You see? So
well,
we
I mean, I think that
get all of it, right?
like many black people, I think you know, some of my ancestry is African American, some of it is Caribbean. I think you'd be hard pressed to find um you know, at this point in history, many African American people who do not have a drop of anything besides, you know, West African descent.
Well,
um
everybody on the planet has some kind of African descent. Everybody does.
but everyone has some kind of, not everyone, but many people have some kind of more recent admixture. I'm not talking about, you know, Pleistocene African DNA. I'm talking about more recently.
It's
Um,
as hell. Well, many of us foundational Black Americans, we trace and go back to paperwork and look at lineage on paperwork, and
Facts.
it's very pressing for any of us to hit an African bloodline anywhere on paperwork. Now, if you do a DNA test, and the DNA tests are kind of shaky within itself, they put everybody in Africa, Asia, and Europe. But as far as paperwork, a lot of foundational Black Americans don't have any paperwork saying Africa. You understand? I'm not saying that
yeah.
they have African ancestry, but how far back does it go? We've had an ethnogenesis. We're not continental Africans. We as foundational Black Americans, we predate, our ethnic group predates almost all of the modern nation states in Africa now. Right?
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of brand new governments in Africa. I just think, I don't know, it's a kind of a strange conclusion. If three of my grandparents are descended from American slaves and one of them are descended from Caribbean slaves to conclude that I'm generally Caribbean. Um, it's not really how I actually only found out I was Caribbean maybe like last year.
Yeah.
So
The thing,
I generally see myself as African American.
well, the thing is, a foundational Black American means you're just not an immigrant. We don't have an immigrant background. Nobody in my family immigrated here at all. So my family built this country from the ground up. That's literally what a foundational Black American means, and that's it. There's no belief to that. There's no ideology to that. If you got a family member who didn't immigrate here and they were Black and they were here at the beginning of this country, by definition, that person is foundational. You see?
Yeah, I mean, majority of my family is, by your definition, foundational African American.
By logic, let's just forget about my definition. Let's say I get abducted by aliens. Somebody's foundational to this country. There's going to be an ethnic group who's foundational. There has to be an ethnic group, by logic, who's foundational. What group would that be? Not Hispanics. Not
Well, certainly not Hispanics, but I mean, I think the groups that were here um, at the beginning of America, so generally at the beginning of like 1776 type America, before or after Native Americans, Native Americans were already here, and then
the red natives and
white people, right? Red, white, and black.
okay, the red natives had nothing to do with the building of the United States. Absolutely nothing. In fact, they had to make treaties later. The red natives did. Now, there were Black aboriginals who had something to do with the building of the United States because they got reclassified as Negro and thrown on plantations. And there were a lot of freedom suits where these Black aboriginals were getting their freedom by reminding them that they had a Native American mother. Because
I don't think she understands. I think she's mad confused because she don't know her culture. So if you can't really simulate, or if you can't compare, like, or have some type of similarity to a culture, then it's gonna be hard to understand. Like me, I know shit about being an Arab. I know they follow 9 out of 10 they follow the Islamic beliefs, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I know that's more of an Arab thing. Indies more like Hindu, you know. Like I can't relate to none of that shit. Like eating cow poop and shit like that. I can't. Can you smoke some bookends? I guess lions and elephants will be okay. Oh, smoke. I don't think Boston has lions or elephants, Dorsey. So, and I think that's illegal.
you weren't supposed to enslave people who had a Native American mother.
We was Native Americans.
Who's we?
Who?
We was.
That's some troll shit from like 4chan.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Family, let me tell you what she just pulled. That's some 4chan white supremacist troll um meme. Like anytime a Black person acknowledges that they had some kind of royalty or there was some kind of indigenous Black person, the white supremacists go, we was Kangs or we was Indians. She thought she was being slick, but we see you. You played your hand on that one.
All right, listen, there was legitimate. I'm not going to deny that there was black. Of course, there's black loyalty. I don't think that it originated, or black royalty. I'm not sure it originated in the Americas.
So we see her get down, all right? So she frequents these 4chan sites. This is who we're dealing with. All right, go ahead, ma'am.
All right, I don't even know how to use 4chan. It's very difficult. I'm a woman.
Don't
I don't go on 4chan.
out of it now, ma'am. You're trying to troll now.
Yeah, we got you.
You're trying to Doja Cat me. And I don't know how to use 4chan. Why would I know how to use 4chan as a girl?
Ma'am, are you a white woman?
I'm not a white woman.
Yeah.
You sound white,
now
woman.
Sounding like a.
I could cam up right now, but I do have my Felicia braids in, so that would be.
Yeah, even when you were describing talking about being African American and your family's from Virginia, you were real vague about that.
Go to my profile. There's videos of me. That's me.
Where's your family from for real?
Minnesota?
She lying. She lying. I like people from Minnesota. They're unique, but she's not from no Minnesota.
Ma'am, I think you're a full tether.
I was born and raised in Minneapolis.
Yeah, ma'am, I think all of your family is foreign.
They're
Mm,
all foreign?
Yeah,
Like from where?
I don't know. Sounds like all your family is foreign.
Okay, you're just making stuff up at this point.
I'm not.
But I thought we were gonna just are we really gonna stay stuck on there's supposed to be, according to Robert Lipton, there's supposed to be 12 steps of brainwashing. So I thought we were gonna move on to the other steps.
Hold on. Let me get Professor Allen in here. Let me get my brother Professor Allen. Hop on, sir.
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? What's going on, family? I just wanted two things point out that what she's doing. She studied psychology or sociology, and allegedly, what she was trying to do, which was really clever, is something called meta narrative framing. Meta means real small, and we all know what framing means. She was trying to frame our lineage as some type of group.
Right.
I think she mentions the word cult. So beware with her. I don't think she's black at all, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And the last thing I wanted to say is with respect to the brother who drowned, unfortunately, what you said was spot on about Dr. Welsing, because I went to graduate school with a bunch of white T girls, and they would all, they trusted me and would tell me stuff. Some of them were engaged, and they were like, man, the first thing he asked me is, have I ever slept with a black dude? So that is always on their
Oh yeah,
mind. Dr. Welsing hit the nail on the head. But that's all I had, brother.
man. Thank you. Now, fool me. Who's white? Is your mother white or your dad white?
How can you guys say I'm not black? I just avocado oil braided my hair and it was labor
Who's
intensive.
white? Who's white? I'm looking at your picture. Who's white?
Both of my parents are very passionately, I've heard them called beige panthers. Both of my parents are light skinned and very passionate about being black.
Ma'am, you look very, very almost white with green eyes.
mm, mm,
Yeah, the
mm,
green
mm.
eyes, they come from my dad, so he looks just like me.
Y-
Um,
Yeah, you're almost white. And is that what you kind of have an issue with? You were almost white until them black genes messed it up, and now you got a lot of vitriol towards the black community?
a lot of people, I look like my dad. A lot of people accuse my dad of being a Samoan. Um, no, I think
And I'm seeing you got stuff with pictures of Sneeko and all this stuff. So that's the kind of crowd you like rolling with? That
I have pictures of Sneeko.
Well, pictures of Sneeko on your page. I'm looking at your page. You got Sneeko and all this shit.
Oh, I do. I got to take that down. I'm not a big fan of Sneeko. Sorry, Sneeko.
Uh,
Um, I
Girl's
was
crazy.
curious because I mean, you could agree with me on this. Sneeko dated this model who's beautiful.
Ma'am, let me ask you this.
Lily Fofana.
Let me,
She's so
ma'am,
pretty.
stop trolling. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm not trolling. Have you seen her? She's really
Let me
pretty.
ask you, George Floyd. Do you think George Floyd was murdered or he died of fentanyl?
So I think that it is negligent homicide because so I do think that he was chewing some kind of pill, but in my opinion,
Oh Lord.
if you're a police officer, like hear me out.
Oh
If you're a police officer, I think he was killed. I think he was like negligent homicided. So if you're a police officer and somebody is overdosing in front of you, your job is to call the paramedics. Your job is to save them from the overdose.
have a good
Um
family. This is why we got to get tethers out of our damn mix. I'm not going to sit up and listen to her horse shit no more. This is why I let it go on a little long just to remind everybody this is why tethers don't need to be in our mix. That woman's a full tether. I don't believe nobody's FBA in her family. She's a wannabe white supremacist. She
Facts.
thought she was slick. I knew she was a tether when she first started talking. We can kind of smell tether juice. You can kind of smell it at this point.
These people have vitriol for us. And because we're delineating, they want to try to reframe it. Well, I studied a psychology book. Get out of here with all that nonsense. We delineated, ma'am. We're of a different lineage and you ain't. So just stop it. Just stop. All right. Let me get some more people in here. Good freaking grief. All right. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling, hop in, sir. Self-fulfilling.
Oh, how are you doing, Tariq?
And I'm good at you.
Nice. So I'm from the white community. I don't know if that's okay with you.
Why wouldn't
Well, I just want to make sure. I don't want to encroach on anyone's spaces. I know everybody's got their own space.
So you assume that we would be hostile towards you because you're white?
No, not at all. I just make sure with everybody, you're okay with it. I mean, this might be a, foundational Black American only space. I don't want to be intrusive.
Absolutely. We talk to everybody. Now,
cool.
Now, what state are you in?
I'm in California.
Okay, I'm in California too. Where in Europe is your family from?
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. How long?
That's true,
When
Dorsey.
they come here?
I'm gonna say that's true, Dorsey. They can't accept that at all. I think that's where their problems is with us and stuff. Because we accept everybody, it's not like we target people. I don't think we do that. Some might say different, but I have never targeted anybody for their skin color. Absolutely not. And yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, goodness. 1730s, 1740s?
No damn Scandinavia. Not no damn 1740s. Not from Scandinavia. They were way before to travel anywhere. Your people are Ellis Island people, sir.
No, I mean as far as what my 23andMe and my ancestry says, that's not the case. So
there wasn't no Scandinavians really coming over here in the 1700s, sir.
I mean, I have a little bit of British. Maybe there's that, but I mean, it's mostly Scandinavian. So
the 1700s, sir. Wasn't nobody immigrating nowhere from no damn.
I'd be happy to show it to you as long as you're okay with me not doxing myself.
No, that's fine, but over here, no. Your people came from Ellis Island, sir.
No. You know what? Let's just say that was the case. What would it matter? I'm still a heritage.
I'd like to get to know who we're talking to.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. I mean, let's just for the sake of argument, we'll say, yeah, I came from Ellis Island.
Okay, because some white people try to say, well, they're heritage Americans and all that, but most, a lot of white people came over.
Well, I will say that one of my ancestors was Eli Whitney. So that's why I would say.
Really?
That would be the case. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
The person who stole the idea of the cotton gin?
Our family doesn't see it that way, but you could say that.
Yeah, he got the cotton gin was.
Yeah, he's not too happy about that shit.
Was invented by a foundational Black American, and Eli Whitney just went and patented it.
I've read about that, and so I won't contest it too much. It's
it happened. They did that shit all the time. So
sure, that could be the case. I won't argue on that.
There you go. So what's on your mind, man?
Well, I just so for my side, as far as heritage Americans or ethnic Americans, it's interesting to listen in on spaces like this and see how you guys. In terms of how you conversate between people that are maybe not full Black or half Black, whatever you'd like to call it. So really, that's all I was doing is just listening, seeing how you guys, basically have conversations. It's actually quite similar to what we do. I call it white spiraling. Like you're Slavic, so you're not really white, or you're Persian, so you're not really white. So I just wanted to get a better grasp of how you guys intermingle. You're a foundational Black, and you may see that someone from the Caribbean isn't necessarily, or if they're mixed. So again, these are things I'm just trying to flesh out and understand how it works.
Why are you trying to flesh out and understand that?
Well, so I'm more of a part of the delegation of remigration. We would like to strive for 90% remigration here in the United States. And it's not out of hatred. I know this is going to sound like white supremacist, it's going to sound like hatred, but I don't hold any hatred. I just look at it like oil and water, and I feel like foundational, I think FPA would probably be the only group that I would make any compromise on, but it seems like other groups in the United States, they don't really love us. They really hate us, really everybody here, including yourself, foundational Blacks, and they don't really like America. So really it doesn't make any sense to continue this union with people that hate each other, right? It'd be better if they went back to their ancestral homelands and we just kind of do a reset. So I know it sounds insane. I know it sounds awful and crazy, but I look at like the moderate option. I really don't want to see a race war, ethnic war. I really don't want to see anything close to, whites. And I'm going to say it for myself and for whites, chimping out, going crazy, doing crazy stuff. I know we can talk about Hitler and Stalin and all that kind of stuff, but the moderate option I think is better. So I know these are going to be insane ideas, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're like oil and water, and I think that's really scary. I think we should all be really serious about
What's
this.
the logistics of it? How would, in your perfect world, how would this remigration go? How would
Yeah, so it would start off very, nonviolent. It would be, closing of bank accounts. You wouldn't be able to access any of your money. You would be able to have cash. We would give incentives. Say, hey, if you're from this area of the world, we'll set you up. We'll get you sent over there. We'll facilitate everything you need. Because in the long term, short term, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt everybody. For us, it's going to hurt infrastructure. It's going to hurt the economy. But long term, we're going to see everybody be a little bit happier. Things are going to be a little bit better. And I think over decades from that point on, you'll notice a change. But how we get there, I know it sounds hippie and crazy, but the remigration, I'd like it to go down a lot. From the nonviolent perspective, I don't think that we need to get crazy, but again, people are going to fight, and that's just the way things are going to go. And I think we just have to be realistic about it. I'm not going to lie to you and say that people aren't going to get hurt. We're going to make mistakes. I mean, ICE is making mistakes right now, but at the end of the day, no one's happy. And so we just need to call it quits and just shake hands and say, hey, listen, it didn't work out. It was nice to meet you, but you need to go home. So, and it's not from hate. It's not from being scared. It's just, I don't want to see the race war. And I think that's on the horizon, ethnic, whatever you want to call it. I'm just using generalities.
The white supremacists have been waging a race war since 1526 over here.
I would agree with that. Yeah, and I understand that there's a lot of tension between other groups and the whites. I would probably lean more towards other groups influencing it. I'm not going to deny those things. I'm not going to deny that.
I'll say this. I'm gonna land right here because this guy he's crying for help. I think if there was gonna be a race war, it's gonna be white people versus white people. As I've been telling the immigrants for ever since Trump got in office, stay the fuck out of Dodge. Let these niggas fight each other. They didn't want to listen. They were like, oh, you're xenophobic, you're divisive, you're Donald Trump, all this other shit. And I said, no, just stay out of it. You're just Mac. I want to get my real issue with immigrants, and it's just they try to live my fucking life. I'm like, nigga, let me live. Can I live, nigga? Like, yo, that's a you problem, player. You fix that shit out yourself. I tell them all the time, fix that shit yourself. You got it. You smart, you work hard, you came over here with $2.50 in your pocket, all of that. It's that shit ain't got nothing to do with us, man. We worry about pro-black Americans. That's our issue right there. That's what we're worried about. We're not worried about Africa, Caribbean islands, or pan-africanism. We're not worried about none of that stuff. And I think for pan-africanism to succeed, they need to stop worrying about black Americans, also known as foundational black Americans. Worry about what they need to worry about, and that's their own cause. Their cause ain't got nothing to do with me. We don't want to move to Africa. You don't want all of us over there in Africa. There's already billions of y'all anyways. Only thing that's going to happen, y'all just going to turn on us again. And it happens all the time. And not all of y'all. There's a lot of good African people. It's just, I don't know as many. I know a few. That's it. Caribbeans too. I only know a few good Caribbean people. And I live in Boston. So shout out to Africa and the Caribbean islands and stuff. It is y'all got to figure out your problems. Black Americans supporting themselves. It's not anti-African. It has never been. It has never been anti-African. This should be, and I'm gonna say this. This should be a new slate for y'all to to achieve. You know, and it's just going to be much more harder if you keep on getting into our business. But give me a second, everybody. Uh, uh, all right. I'm gonna give my shout outs. Give me a second, everybody. I'm sorry. Just give me a second. I want to give my shout outs. Damn. So I'm looking at the polls, everybody, because I'm about to close the polls. Not one person voted for no Pan-Africanism. Pan-African movement is a code. They all say yes, it's a code, and it's crazy. 121 voters said yes, Pan-African movement is a cult. I be damned. I'm gonna close that one down. Shout out to y'all whoever hit the yes button. Yes, should have hit the no. You hit the right yes. Shout out to you and thank y'all for doing the joints for me. Let me give my shout out. Shout out to Miss Lala Brown. Shout out to you. You're number one today. Dorsey, number two. Ali, number three. Miss Charlie Shaw, number four. Miss Ramirez, number five. St. Michael's, number six. Ray Ray, number seven. Black Snow Bunny Kings, number eight. And my man Niggs. He's number nine. Shout out to all of y'all. And shout out to Robin from Kick. Thank you for being on the show. Oh, as always, you're always a good guy. Thank you. And thank you for participating. And I will see you Wednesday. Tuesday is my marketing day, so I'll see y'all Wednesday, and I'll give you another up. I'll show y'all some pictures in the post. I'll show y'all some of the logos that I will be making shirts out of. So thank you. I do appreciate it. I still got to do a little bit more research on how am I going to sell this stuff. But thank you. I appreciate everything, and I will see you